In the world of Radio Shock Jock, the biggest are Opie and Anthony.
These people say shocking things that border on offensive in order to entertain their audience.
I refuse to sit here and think that radio has to be nice. Why? Why does radio, out of any other medium, have to be nice? We are being now held to a standard where we have to be nice and make people feel good. Go screw!
Radio bad boys, Opie and Anthony.
Controversial radio personalities, Opie and Anthony.
Infamous DJs, Opie and Anthony.
Talk show radio hosts, Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Opie and Anthony.
Radio shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. Shock jocks, Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Po po boo bo banana nana banana fana fofo fee fi momo po.
Who thought you were dead? The people you were partying with?
Dealers, yeah.
Dealers and stuff, and they just threw him in a dumpster in London.
Well, you know,
and left him there.
I think it's pretty funny when no one wants a dead rock star.
This is where entertainment is going?
I shot my computer. You can't shoot guns in suburbia. And I fully expected the police to show up. This is showing responsibility.
Opie and Anthony.
I think worse than having sex with a man would be, as you're kissing one, to feel his man hands holding your head like the sweat of a man hand right on the nape of your neck. This is the worst. The worst show This is the worst show I've ever been on.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road.
Good morning. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. Sans Anthony.
It feels lonely in here.
It's just me and little Jimmy for now. I believe Anthony's on his way.
It's so weird to look to my left and not see that little sweetie in the chair. I've never seen that before. I've never not seen Anthony in the studio.
Yeah. He overslept.
But he's on his way.
He's on his way.
I hope he's not doing 150. If you're listening right now, you psychopath, stop at the lights. The show will be here when you get here. Because he's probably right now up on the sidewalks. He's driving like an animal. And he's going to wind up getting himself killed if they're not getting here at all.
Phone number 877-212-ONA. And Jimmy was telling me just before we went on the air about his experience at a restaurant last night with cockroaches.
It's amazing how, like, no matter where you go, if you're going to go out to eat, you're going to have roaches somewhere in the building. You know, especially in New York, you can't avoid it. So I'm not naive enough to think that because it's a nice restaurant, you're not going to see a bug. But when you're out and you're paying $100 to eat...
Yeah.
And you're sitting next to a wall, and a roach crawls, and you go to the waitress, hey, come here, and she sees the roach, and she kills it, and then she moves...
How did she kill it?
With her, like, towel. Probably the same thing she wiped her table off with her finish. Stupid bitch. She took it...
Right in front of you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Just whap!
My girlfriend was like, ah! And I was just like I figured, look, we're going to get at least a free dessert.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't want a free meal. It wasn't like it was a rat, but it was a roach. So she swats it, it falls on the ground, then she steps on it. It's a full restaurant.
Did she just kick it under the table where your girlfriend was sitting?
Well, when she hit it, it fell, and my girlfriend kind of screamed and scooched over, and the waitress was very panic-stricken because nobody wants you screaming about cockroaches in a full restaurant. So she stepped on it, and I'm like, look, can we move to the next table? And she's like, yes, thank you. She thanked us because we didn't cause a big scene. And we moved over to the next table, and we finished. And it's like, can't you give somebody a free dessert? I mean, am I being a complete chiseler by wanting a $12 dessert?
At the very least, they got to acknowledge that you had a cockroach.
A dessert?
Put it in your sorbet or something. Just
cut it in half.
Put it on the top of your sorbet.
All I wanted. The dessert.
See, when you start telling the story and you were talking about a cockroach, I'm like, so that's that. There's no surprise there.
Right.
You know, you shouldn't be shocked to see a cockroach in a restaurant in New York. And you were saying it's like a basement restaurant?
It's a place called the Mercer Kitchen.
Oh, Mercer Kitchen is a killer spot.
Yeah, I know it is. The Mercer Kitchen in Soho. And it's the food was good. I'm not going to dump on the place and say it sucked, 'cause it didn't suck.
Wow, they had a cockroach.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little more surprised.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a good place. You're going to get one even in a good place.
Right.
It's okay. But whenever you sit next to a wall in New York, you risk that. You know the comfort you get for laying against the wall and the girl is boring you talking? That's the risk. The risk you take is that an animal's going to crawl out and bite you.
And you know what they say? If there's one cockroach, there's hundreds, if not thousands.
I know. And anywhere I go, I know there's a roach.
Right.
Anywhere I eat, I know there's a roach somewhere, but you don't want to see it. But it happened in another place that we ate at one time. There was a little roach on the wall. Same thing. Waitress killed it. And then we had our dessert. And literally every time we went in there for the next 2 months, they would comp us a dessert. And we just had berries. I mean, I eat $12 desserts. I don't eat big ones. Just really irritated me that nobody would think that when you see a bug, like a roach.
Right.
That, yeah, let's give the guy free berries.
Yeah.
So
at the very least, they got to acknowledge it and then take something off the check there.
Yes.
We got Anthony from the Opie and Anthony show.
Oh, Anthony.
Anthony.
Hi.
Anthony, welcome aboard. First time, long time? Anthony.
What's going on?
Yes. The cat just makes break down, and I don't know what the happened.
I can't hear you.
What?
Sorry, I dropped the bomb.
He cursed?
I have no idea.
Well, no one heard it. What are you talking to, a construction cone? Who is this? This isn't Anthony?
You can't hear me that well?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah, what's going on?
Okay, good. I got to lean forward now so I can talk into my speaker.
Where are you, sweetie?
A cataclysmic breakdown of events. My phone didn't work, and the alarm didn't go off.
Well, are you all right?
I'm stuck in traffic.
Okay.
Which I'm never in the morning. That puts me in a great mood. I'm at the wonderful Lefrak City off the expressway.
All right.
In Queens. Oh, the worst feeling. No way. Locking up. There's no way to make it. No matter what I do.
Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you a little bit, Ant, but you're kind of fading. I can hear you a little bit and kind of know what you're saying because I kind of understand what you're saying, but you're kind of fading in and out.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Jesus Christ. Maybe I'll try my other phone.
All right, so you're in a little bit of traffic. You're coming into the city. You'll be here in 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5.
That's the worst feeling, though, when you wake up and you realize you've slept through your alarm or the alarm didn't go off. There's no worse feeling. Believe me, I've been in the cab a few times listening to the show on the way in, and I'm only Norton of the Opie. When you're Anthony of the Opie and Anthony show, it's got to feel awful. But don't do 150. What's that?
It's the worst. I don't know how Ron Bennington does it. It's in like 2 seconds before the show starts, like Sinatra.
When did you realize, at what point did you realize, okay, maybe I can make it if I fly in? At what point did you realize I'm not going to make it?
Oh, you did. Hold on 2 seconds.
Okay.
I'm late. Dude. I'm saying.
What is this?
What is he trying?
Is it good or bad?
I have no idea.
Is this a cop is helping me or 4 black gentlemen are opening my vehicle?
Now I got fans beeping at me.
Oh, people are beeping at you?
Yes, fans of the show are beeping at me because I just gave my location.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's well, at least we know people are listening to this crap. Well, tell them to get out of your way.
Yeah, exactly. Now I just passed a cop, and traffic's opening up, so I could go faster, but I'm risking being pulled over.
Well, don't go get pulled over because that'll be a hassle. By the time you show them who you are, it'll take a while. He'll have to call down to the station, realize you're wanted on other things, war crimes in the 40s, and he'll haul you in anyway. So what exit do you buy, love?
Yeah. All right. I'll be in a couple of minutes.
All right. You answer any questions you want. All right, Ant.
It's Nikia from Long Island. What's up, Nikia? You're on the Opie and Anthony show. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Jimmy, you don't want a free dessert after what you went through. Trust me. I was a waitress at a restaurant, and I'm not going to name it, but they wanted a free dessert. I'm like, okay, sure. And they raised a big stink. You were nice about it. But we put a little something extra in their fried cheesecake.
Wait, were they nice about it or no?
No, they raised the stink. What did you add to the cheesecake?
Well, let's just say everybody gave a little of themselves and the fried cheesecake.
Yes.
And then we fried it. So a little bit of love and a little bit of ourselves for the fried cheesecake.
See, my girl and the Philly crew, they're big fans of not raising a stink at restaurants.
Absolutely.
They're big fans of not telling the waiter to take the food back and cook it a little more. If If their food comes out and it's wrong, they won't say a word. They'll just eat whatever is put in front of them. They are paranoid and petrified that if you raise any type of stink at a restaurant, you're going to get something extra in your cheesecake.
See, I think that if the people
Work at a restaurant?
Huh?
Did she work in the restaurant or was a waitress?
No, I mean, my brother's in the restaurant business, and he's told me some horror stories over the years. He certainly doesn't do that now that he's a restaurant owner, but he's seen it all. He wants to write a book about it someday.
But if you're this is the thing. I'm never rude. Like the problem, anyone who's rude to someone handling their food is out of their minds.
Right.
But I've sent steak back, but I'm always like, look, could you please? I'm always very polite about it. Would you spit in someone's food if they were really polite about sending it back?
No, really polite, because I have nothing to do with the food.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have nothing to do with the roaches. It's the management. When they raise a stink saying that it's my fault and that there's rats in there and there's roaches in there, it's not my fault. It's management's fault. And they make me feel like an idiot in front of all the other guests.
Right. Well, then,
that's different.
Yeah, that's so different. Jimmy didn't raise much of a fuss, and of course you got to do something. You got to acknowledge that you just killed a roach in front of a couple trying to have a romantic dinner with candlelight.
It's not like we were in a store buying work boots.
Yeah.
This was a place of love.
Hey, we knocked off the appetizer. You just got to do something. Acknowledge it. All right, thank you, Nikia.
All right, take care.
All right, very good.
Yeah, I can't see screaming at somebody who's going to be touching my food. I mean, I would just never do it. But I'm not going to eat raw steak because I'm afraid they're going to vomit in it. I mean, if they do, they do.
You just got to be really nice about it.
Yeah.
There is a lot going on today. I saw that Spears, I'll say this, Spears was in the news today. I'm like, who cares? Enough with this Britney Spears. And then it turns out it's Britney's kid sister, and she's pregnant. That's right. Britney Spears' kid sister is pregnant. She's 16.
Oh, my God.
She's 12 months pregnant to, I guess,
12 weeks.
12, what did I say?
12 months.
Oh, my God.
She's no longer a human being. She's some sort of a morphed species.
Can you imagine? 12 weeks pregnant. It's her long-term boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
They've been together since they were 13 years old. He's 18. She's 16. They're both good Christian people.
Apparently.
And, yeah, exactly. And, she's pregnant. She's going to keep the baby. She's 16 years old. How amazing is that?
Why? She's a sexy girl, too. Why would you keep... What is wrong with this? I kind of like them now. They're really on white trashy.
Oh, they're just proving how white trashy they are.
I mean, Britney had this amazing career. She's this amazing performer, average singer. And K-Fed, the dirty backup dancer, comes in and he just wrecks it. That's what a good bang he was. He ruined an icon.
Absolutely. And is going to get paid handsomely for it.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is she's just proving what a complete idiot she is. Like, how do you, in the middle of a custody battle, continually go out drinking with pink hair? How do you... Like, sweetheart, you got to kind of mellow out. Put on like a little black grieving thing and, go out and have dinner with responsible people.
Well, people are saying, she's just completely insane. This isn't even about pills and drugs. She's just out of her mind.
Do you think she wants her kids, though? Maybe she doesn't want them.
I don't even think she knows what she wants at this point. She's completely lost. Completely.
I'm starting to think that maybe she likes the idea of losing the kids in a way like, hey, look, K-Fed has them. I'll see them once in a while. I can go out and do what I want to do and let this idiot and his ex-girlfriend and her kids take care of them. Because
I think she's just lost. She never had proper parenting, if you really want to get into it, and became a star way too early, and she's just she's just in a bad place, a real bad place. So, Britney's kid sister pregnant, 16 years old, 12 weeks pregnant. I started imagining what a 12-month pregnancy would look like.
Yeah, it'd be like she'd be giving birth to someone who's 11 years old.
Right. A hand just popping out, going, "Give me that!"
Yeah, it's a beer, pulls it back in.
Just feeding itself. Give me that. Also here in New York, Isaiah Thomas. The Knicks are probably one of the... I don't even know because I don't even follow the Knicks these days, but they're pretty much one of the worst teams in basketball.
Yep.
And a guy got kicked out of the game last night for holding up a sign that just said, "Fire Isaiah." It was on his, I guess, his dinner tray. It's on the front page of the Daily News. Fire Isaiah. And he was pretty much sitting right behind Isaiah. So he got a big laugh from the people at the Garden last night, or Monday night, and they kicked him out for that because you're not allowed to have signs at the Garden.
I didn't know that.
So the only reason I'm mentioning this because it's going to be a lot of fun tonight, and the rest of the country can enjoy this. The Daily News on page 3 has made their Fire Isaiah sign where you're supposed to cut it out and bring it to the game tonight. And then it says, to be held up during next Knicks blowout.
Wow.
So I don't know how they're going to control that at the Garden because they're pretty serious about not having signs inside at the Garden. But because of this guy getting kicked out for just stating that he wants Isaiah fired, the Daily News is jumping on the bandwagon here and encouraging everyone to go to the game with their Fire Isaiah sign that's in the Daily News today on page 3.
He's absolutely going to get dumped. I mean, it's kind of rough. If you're Pat Riley in 1986,
yeah,
and you lose $11.5 million for sexually harassing somebody, that's bad. But when you have a record like Isaiah Thomas has, you better not. Either you better be in first place and have clinched a playoff berth, or you better not lose $11 million in a sexual harassment case. You can't do both. You can't suck and lose almost $12 million.
I don't even think it's about the $11 million, to be honest with you. I think it's the fact that he's 7-17. I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, I guess that doesn't help. It makes it a little easier. So, and then in other sports news, you got Roger Clemens denying that he ever took steroids or human growth hormones, and Mike Lupica, who's a great sports columnist, on the back of the Daily News, he writes, Lupica to Clemens, don't tell us you're clean, tell them in Washington. Because Congress is going to be looking into this whole steroid thing. And Mike's going, yeah, whatever. You can say whatever the hell you want. I want to see you say it in front of Congress. So no one's believing him.
I know, and they probably shouldn't. But you know what? The bottom line is he pitched some great games. So I don't care.
I mean, if old goody two-shoes, Eddie Pettit, is admitting to doing it twice, which means he probably did it more.
Sure.
Come on. Roger didn't.
He's probably done it many, many times. He probably knows that if he said twice, there's going to be like a really loud laugh from everybody who knows him. So he's either going to have to admit full-blown steroid use, or just keep his mouth shut.
He's basically going to say, "I share my breakfast with my horses."
Of all the dramatic things, right. Roger Clemens, he's eating oats in George's box. Right. Who cares? I honestly, I'm beyond caring. At first, I kind of cared. It was like, well, it's Bonds. It's one guy going for the home run record. But everybody in baseball is doing it, or most of them are doing it. Let them do it.
No one made me laugh really hard this morning, though, talking about the steroids thing. Good old Pete Rose. He's quoted. I guess there's going to be an interview tonight or tomorrow night. I forgot what paper it's in. And he's just, here we go. Pete Rose thinks players who use steroids and other performance-enhancing drugs are making a mockery of baseball. The career hits leader banned by the Sports for Gambling weighed in on the Mitchell Report in an interview with Dennis Miller that is slated to air tonight. It says air tonight on Versus. By the way, Dennis Miller's new show is really, really good if you want to check out something different. I never thought anybody would make me look like an altar boy, Rose said. I've been suspended 18 years for betting on my own team to win, he added. I was wrong, but these guys today, if the allegations are true, they're making a mockery of the game. And, of course, he finally admitted to betting on his own team to win in his autobiography in 2004, Pete Rose, of course. If you're going to put these guys that supposedly did steroids into the Hall of Fame, I mean, I've got to get a shot somewhere, he said. So he's seeing his little in as far as trying to get into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
And in a way, he's right. I mean, the bottom line is what he did was stupid, and it's the biggest thing in baseball, especially because you're coaching a team and you can manipulate them to win if you have money on the game, as opposed to taking a loss that won't hurt you.
Right.
But, he didn't do anything that affected his play. Mm-hmm. I mean, he didn't do anything that affected him getting over 4,000
Oh, he should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame. That's without a doubt. Especially now that everyone's doing steroids.
And also, the more you know about other people's histories, whether it was Mickey Mantle's drinking or DiMaggio's abusing his wife, it's like everyone has these histories that are dirty.
Right.
All the greatest players in the game have dirty histories. Mm-hmm. I mean, so if they're going to be allowed in, he should be.
It's obviously a personal thing with Rose.
Yeah, he's so pompous.
His numbers were just absolutely amazing when he was playing. Let's go to Brad in Texas. Brad, what's up?
Hey, this little Jimmy and Opie in the morning, Sports Talk Radio.
Sports Talk Radio. We covered a few things so far.
Yeah, Sports Talk Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, Pete Rose definitely the Hall of Fame.
You all right, Brad?
Yeah.
We were going so well until I took this phone call.
No.
Thank you, sir. Let's go to Gail in Rockland County. Gail, what's up?
Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, Gail.
Listen, I think Ann's chick did not do a really good job of Wake Up Your Spouse Wednesday today.
Yeah, it is Wake Up Your
comment about that.
It is Wake Up Your Spouse Wednesday. So.
Yeah. Also, I was curious. Is he driving the white Ford Bronco this morning?
The white Ford Bronco. What are you trying to do?
Wait a minute, Gail. What are you doing here? Hold on, hon.
What are you trying to do?
Gail? What do you mean, hon? Get to it.
You got to explain your little joke.
Let's see. That was what? About 15 years ago? OJ?
Die!
Wow.
You're a little much.
Hey, the P. Rose interview was on last night. Maybe we could get some audio of that. All right, we're just getting started. It is Whip 'em Out Wednesday. It's Wake Up Your Spouse Wednesday. Morning Zoo bit of the day Wednesday. We might have to play that Scott and Todd Roly-Poly Christmas one more time. It is the holiday season.
Well, you know.
And our phone number is 877-212-ONA. Jamie Lynn turned 16 in April, got pregnant in September, has a show on Nickelodeon called Zoe 101. My 10-year-old niece loves that show.
Now I'm going to start watching it.
Thank you, E-Rock.
Dirty girl.
Well, we had such high hopes for Brittany's kid sister, but now, yuck.
She a singer as well?
She's, a multi-talented entertainer.
She's a little firecracker, too, this little dirtbag. Didn't she scream at, like, a bunch of people? Like, they were yelling, "We don't like you here, Brittany," and she's like, "F you," screaming.
Oh, yeah. She was sticking up for her sister.
I like her.
Big time, so.
Potty mouth. She likes to bang. She's a good girl.
The Zoe show is pretty popular with the 10-year-olds there, E-Rock.
It was. I don't know how popular it is now compared to the Disney stuff, but it was huge for the longest time.
Yeah.
Well, what's the Disney stuff that's kicking it out of first place?
Hannah Montana.
What?
Hannah Montana.
It's all about
Nobody
Hannah
knows
Montana.
who she is.
Oh, you're kidding, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I know you're not totally into pop culture, but that one you got to know.
I only know her name because it rhymes.
Oh, okay.
If she walked in right now, I honestly wouldn't know who she was.
You would know.
Would I?
I think so, yeah.
What does she do?
She does that Billy Ray Cyrus show. Well, Billy Ray Cyrus is her father, and they do a show for Nickelodeon together, right?
Is that really her
called
name?
Hannah Montana. Yeah. And no one cares about Billy Ray Cyrus anymore. It's all about his daughter, Hannah Montana.
But what kind of a show? Is it a variety show? Is it a comedy show? E-Rock, please help me for the love of God.
It's just another dumb kid show that the preteens like.
How old is she?
13, 14.
Oh, all right, wait till all right.
I think she's older than that now, no? Oh, whatever. All right, we're just getting started here. When we get back, we have another death at Disney, and we also have a Santa getting groped at a mall. This story is hilarious.
And there is one I was saving for Ant, too.
Which one?
This is because it's amazing that a story from his childhood has crept into today's news. Man reportedly beats 7-year-old boy for wearing pink nail polish.
Oh, on the Opie and Anthony show.
Hey, this is Kevin Federline. You're listening to Opie and Anthony.
Good morning. You're checking out the Opie and Anthony show. Phone number 877-212-ONA. Also, let's not forget about ONAradio.com. They're doing a great job as far as show rundowns and a lot of the visual things we talk about on the show. They link it up on ONAradio.com. Anthony in studio.
I feel like a guest. Like I just came in. Hi, how you doing?
I so wish that you would have come in at the end of the break and we could just tell them to come in after the...
Yeah, have me sit in the green room. I don't know. I was trying to say in the car, but the phone wasn't working very well. Just a cataclysmic breakdown of events. I don't know what happened. The alarm didn't go off, and then I have 3 settings on my phone. 3 settings that I set every night. So I have 4 chances of waking up. And I don't know what happened. The phone didn't work. What a mess.
What time is your fail-safe with Kenny? Because I have a fail-safe with Kenny.
I have a fail-safe with Than.
Oh,
and he called, but the phone, something happened with my phone. It wasn't making noise. And I didn't wake up. I have a fail-safe of 5:15. At 5:15, I could still make it here on time.
What woke you?
I guess when Melinda got a call.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And her phone went like, meh, meh, meh. And that woke me up. Unbelievable. Son of a bitch.
Language.
Oh, there's nothing worse. You wake up, you look at the clock and go, oh, there's no way I can make it. There's no way. We need a transporter for me to make it. Ugh.
It happens.
Ugh.
All right, let's say hi to Kevin in California. Kevin.
Can I plug one thing? We have Ricky Gervais calling in about...
Oh, yeah, we haven't even mentioned that yet.
In about 11 minutes from The Office and, of course, from Extras, and he's doing gigs in New York.
I was asking you, too, during the break, have you ever seen Extras?
I've seen one episode, and I loved it.
Yeah.
I have them all. I'm almost...
What is this show about? I mean, obviously a very different character than his Office character.
He's still a douche.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he plays an extra in a movie. And it's a movie about the Holocaust, so leaves a lot of opportunity for some really politically incorrect things for him to do.
Wait, is it about the same movie through the whole series or through the whole season?
From what I saw, all the episodes I saw, it was pretty much the same movie. It's different movies? The first couple episodes I saw was the Holocaust movie, which was really funny.
Yeah, I got to check it out. I think I got season 1 box set.
He's so great because the one I saw, I haven't watched it. Honestly, I love Gervais so much that it's like I hate watching everything that someone has because there's nothing left. I told you, The Office is one of my favorite shows of all time, and I still haven't seen that final Christmas special because I don't want it to be over.
What are you waiting for?
I'm a dope.
We had him in studio. I had a really uncomfortable moment with him because he's talking about extras, and I didn't really know about the show, and he's on our radio program, and I go, "Oh wow, what? You're putting out like an extras DVD for The Office?" He looked at me like, "Do you even know who I am?" Dude, I felt so. That was one of the most uncomfortable moments of the last year as far as this radio show goes.
But then you started because you were a fan of the American Office, which was great. But then you started watching the British version.
Oh, I was a huge fan of his version of The Office.
Yeah.
At first, I wasn't, but the more you get into it, it's just amazing how great that is.
Yeah.
And so I really thought he was coming in to kind of milk that a little bit, and he found some lost tapes or something, and he was promoting extras. Meaning for The Office. Oh, boy, I felt like such a douche. Kevin, what do you got, buddy?
Good morning, boys.
Hey.
Hey, I've been listening to you guys since Free Play Weekend on XM.
Oh, nice.
And, and at first, Jimmy, man, I hated you right up until the last line of Wheelchair Fred in the bathtub there.
Oh, really?
What was the last line?
Can we say it on this side?
Anybody else got a...
What?
You remember the whole...
Yes. We remember the bit. What was the line that turned you around as far as Jimmy goes?
Jimmy goes, does anybody else have a blank?
Oh, okay. Okay. I was implying that I was excited by Wheelchair Fred.
Hey, I got to blow you off. We got Ricky Gervais on the line. Ricky!
Hello.
How are you, sir?
There he is.
How's it going?
Good. We were just talking about you. Do you remember being on our show about 6 months ago, maybe 8 months ago?
Of course I do. I'm not that senile.
Okay, and I was just retelling the story where I felt like the biggest douche because when you came in to promote extras on DVD, I really thought you were talking about like the English Office and you were putting out a extras box set that had something to do with the English Office, and you actually looked at me like, "What is wrong with you?"
I blanked that out.
Okay, good. Good. We just like to acknowledge uncomfortable moments on the show, so I just finally got to acknowledge that we had that moment.
I missed the most uncomfortable moment. What was all this about? You had a tramp in, and he wanted to do things to our Queen of England.
Oh no!
A tramp.
It was a guy we had on a homeless guy on the other side of the show, and he was just a crazy person, and he was just talking about all women of power, and he mentioned Condoleezza Rice, and he mentioned the Queen of England, and he mentioned any women of power. He mentioned because he was pretty much a psychopath.
Yeah, we got in a little bit of trouble on that one.
That's lovely to know that you really know your demographic well.
It was kind of funny that this guy was historically pretty versed. He knew. I think he mentioned Margaret Thatcher. And
Yeah. I guess that story made it over to where you're at, huh?
Yeah. Well, I was didn't you get told off or shut down or something?
For a month, yeah.
Yeah, we got shut down on satellite radio, but our regular radio show continued.
I like how nice that sounds. A tramp. Just picture some guy with the stick and the bandana tied at the end with one of those old hats and a little piece of stogie in his mouth. No, it's a stinky homeless guy.
Well, that's what I mean. I didn't know the politically correct term, but you sorted me out with a crazy guy.
We were never allowed to defend ourselves as far as that whole thing went. It was the rantings of a homeless guy, and the news just took like 15, 20 seconds of that rant and made us look like complete a-holes.
Whoa, it's not your fault, is it?
No, we're not going to take blame.
Hey, Rick, I'm really psyched you're coming back because I know you're doing gigs. It's called Ricky Gervais Out of England Tour. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. You're doing a July 12th gig in L.A. at the Kodak Theater and July 14th and 15th here in New York at
That's right, yeah.
MSG WAMU Theater. I've never seen your live act.
Well, I must warn people. I've only done one gig in
New York. I did it as part of the Highline Festival. I don't know if you remember back in May, David Bowie was curator of the Highline Festival, and I did an hour show. And I must warn people, if they saw that, there is no point in coming to this one, because it's basically the same stuff.
What?
I don't want anyone to turn up. I've been paid $50 and go, well, I've heard all this.
How honest is that, though?
Yeah.
I always lie when I go out and do gigs. I'm like, I'll be a lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
I never want to do the same thing twice. So this is basically that was the warm up for this eventual tour. So it's a bit different, but I think it's for people who've never seen me live, and they'll be delighted.
Well, you know what? If someone came out and saw you last May and then sees you, it'll be over a year since they've seen you. People can watch the same live act twice in a period of a year and still enjoy it. I'll go back and watch some of the older Office episodes, and I still laugh. If people see you 2 weeks later, that's a problem. But if somebody sees you a year later, man, they're still going to enjoy it.
Yeah, but I pretended it was all ad lib.
Oh, see, that could be the problem right there.
I remember that subtle chuckle he put in at the end of that joke.
Ricky, you bring up something that's pretty funny, though, because I've seen a lot of comedians, and you go, and you sit in the audience and go, wow, he's just ad-libbing off the cuff. He's amazing. And then you just so happen to see the same show a month later. You're like, that son of a bitch.
Exactly.
It's all written.
I want to shout the punchline before they get to it.
Yeah, right.
Coincidence, we both had lived exactly the same routine.
Yeah.
But it's just funny to hear, like, you're just deconstructing yourself, which is like, it's the exact same thing. Well, maybe people enjoy it twice. They can't possibly. They thought I made it up as I went along.
Yeah, it was called the Ricky Gervais Improv Show.
Yeah.
I saw... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go out. I love this plug. Tickets are on sale.
No, yes, they are. And I saw a moment of your act. I lied, actually, online, because somebody said, wow, Ricky Gervais doing stand-up. It was a benefit for Diana. I think it was at Wembley Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was none of my stand-up. That was me basically floundering because Elton John wasn't ready.
Were you... Were you really... The beauty of this is you were out there in front of a packed Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
And it looked like you were floundering, but it also looked like, is he floundering, or is this just like a Ricky Gervais thing?
Well, I wasn't floundering because I didn't care enough. And I just sold about 500,000 tickets, so I didn't want to do stand-up. So what I did was, I bowed to peer pressure of 80,000 people screaming, do the dance. So I did.
Yeah.
You made them wait, though, before you did the dance from The Office, his horrendous...
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just didn't want to do it. I don't want to be that guy that goes around in 10 years' time and all people are shouting is do the dance. I'll throw my back out. I don't want to be paralysed on stage. I want to come out with intelligent adult humour, not do a dance like a monkey.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it like that, right?
Like a trained monkey.
Yeah.
Go ahead, dance.
Yeah. Like a tramp. Like someone who does tricks for smack.
But you were funny, though. It was funny because I felt like I was watching this thing that you do so well, which is this kind of real weird tug of war with an audience of like you're letting them get away and think that you're losing it, and then you just pull them back with something really funny. And I didn't know what that was that you were doing, but I thought it was great.
Well, that's good because one British journalist here who tried to start a backlash said that he was rubbish, so was The Office rubbish, it was overrated, Extras was awful, this is the end of his career. That was in June.
Wow.
This is the end of his career? Well, no, it's not. Why say something like that?
Yeah, but you gotta love that stuff, man.
But that's so easy to be proved wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, just say he's rubbish. Don't say, and this is the last you'll see of him. Oh, there he is again. It doesn't work.
How can anybody call the British Office garbage? I mean, I almost said rubbish just so you'd like me, but how can anybody call it garbage? It was one of the best shows ever done.
Well, this is why I phone into this show. For an ego boost.
No, it's an amazing show.
I just watched the one again where the guy is in, the consultant is in again, and he's trying to help, and David just can't let the other guy be the star of the show.
That's my favorite episode. That's my favorite ever episode.
And he's trying to prove, be the difficult thing, and he's like, no, we can't help it. There's been a rape.
Yeah. I
love that one.
That may be my famous... Don't go into rape again. You'll get turned off the air.
Yeah, but a close second is the one with the boombox, the motivational speech, and you give the speech, and you run out, and no one gives a crap.
Tina Turner, Simply the Best.
Yeah, that's that is
the
just
song to do it to.
I highly recommend it to the people out there that have never seen The English Office. You gotta check it out. You gotta.
It's a really weird work of art. I thought it was going to be overrated too because I'd heard so much about it. I'm like, all right, this is probably going to be a decent show that's overrated. And I watched it and I was blown away by how much I loved this guy and how much you made me cringe. And I've never seen a better portrayal of a horse's ass than David. It was really beautiful.
Thank you.
Hey, you almost feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
Oh, you definitely
Such
feel
a tool.
You definitely feel sorry for you,
Well, maybe
Ricky.
NBC will show it now the strike's on.
Wow,
Oh, yeah.
how cool would that be?
That'll fill 12 weeks.
That's a good idea. That's a damn good idea.
Hey, are you gonna pop up on The Office?
Well, I wanted to give it a lot of time just because I thought it would be weird for me to pop, and I really wanted them to find their feet, which they have. But I think it'd probably be safe now. But what I wanted to do was have The Office watching extras, and Michael Scott to come along and go, yeah, I don't like this guy. When they do an American remake, I'll probably watch that. Yeah.
I saw you on YouTube. They have you on one of the chat shows, and the guy pulls out an old video of your band, and you just look like you wanted to reach over and choke him.
Yeah, but people think that I'm embarrassed about how I look then. No, I'm embarrassed about how I look now. That just reminds me that I used to have a bone structure.
You were a lovely lad.
I know. I was a lovely lady lad.
You had the big hair and everything, and you were so slender.
It was fine to wear too much mascara.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Did you have any success with that band?
No.
No,
not at all. No, the thing is, things that come out after you're famous for something else. No,
Right.
it was, we had a couple of singles out, but it was all over in 6 months, and no one would have ever remembered it if it wasn't for the fact that I then, did something else sort of 15 years later.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Hey,
I know.
a little known fact about you: you hold the Guinness Book of World Records for the most downloaded podcast.
That
8
just
million
shows you-
downloads.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. But I think that's like Alexander Graham Bell having the biggest phone bill ever.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of competition when we put that out. It was like the podcast has been like a year old.
Yeah.
But, no, I think it's still got the record. But yeah. Do you listen to podcasts? Do you ever download podcasts?
I personally have not. I mean, we're up on
Exactly.
iTunes. What's that?
Exactly.
But again, though, because we're doing radio for 5 hours a day, so it's kind of like jaded. But somebody who has to drive to work in the car and then go into an office and has time may actually do that.
Well, I think that's what people did. I think they listened to our stuff, like on the subway and in their car and stuff. And Carl Pilkington became a little bit of an internet phenomenon. I mean, he's a global village idiot. I don't know what the PC term is. He's idiot savant, I suppose. But no, I think he captured the imagination of a lot of people, which is weird. That, the great thing about podcasting is it is global. Anyone who's got a computer, it's international, which is great fun, I think.
Well, it's amazing how years ago, like say 5 or 6 years ago, like when you talk about the internet, it seemed like a nice way to market something when quote unquote legitimate marketing wouldn't take care of you, or legitimate media outlets ignored you. But now it's like it's much easier to get famous almost online than it is through legitimate television.
Well, I sometimes sit and watch YouTube, just put stuff in, like silly cat and funny dog and Carl Pilkington, and I just see what comes up, because it is proper viewing, really. But it's just so vast. I mean, it's crazy.
It's amazing where you find yourself, where you end up when you started out looking at one thing, and then you end up watching a video, and you're like, how the hell did I end up here?
But it's so funny that all the same things sort of float to the top. The famous, everyone's seen that, independently. There's one that's going around at the moment with two cats talking, and it really looks like they're having a little chat to each other.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I think animals are intrinsically funny.
I don't know why cats have people have taken to cats on the internet in all forms, websites and YouTube and everything. People just like having cats in weird situations.
Well, this is what is good for the cat, because the cat was never really broke television. It wasn't big in cinema. But now they can probably rule the world now with the internet.
Hey, Ricky, by the way, if you want to see, I'm going to give you a recommendation. If you want to see a funny animal video.
Oh, boy, don't talk about the otters.
It's called, no, I hate the otters,
Oh, okay.
holding hands.
All right, good.
It's called Mr. Hands, and it's a gentleman being pulverized by a horse. That's all I'm going to say. Look it up, and you're going to have quite a laugh.
Being what? By a horse?
Yeah, pulverized. Just Mr. Hands. It's just something you wouldn't expect to see a horse and a gentleman doing.
Well, hold on, wait a minute. This is a recommendation. Why on earth would I ever want to see that?
It's sexy. It's funny. It's got a little
sexy.
No, it's not sexy.
Yes, it is. In Jim's world, it's very sexy.
Listen, look, I think you should be closed down for 3 months for even suggesting that.
Well, and you could also check out Two Girls, One Cup. I mean, it's one of our favorites.
I'm going to go and have a shower after this. I feel soiled.
Yeah.
Hey, never.
Dirty.
No.
No. Hey, would you ever tour with your band? Because, like, we had John C. Reilly in the other day, and it's like he had a band years ago, and now that he's a very famous actor, he's using it in a movie, but you could tell he kind of likes being a rock star. Would you ever actually bring that back and start doing gigs?
No, because for one reason and one reason only, I'm too fat and I'm embarrassed. To
Really?
Be up there singing.
and he never rocked.
You see,
It was that new wave crap.
Being sort of short and fat and uncool is a big bonus for a comedian, because you have to be slightly worse off than the audience, whereas a rock star has to be sort of above the audience.
But I don't know. I think you're being a little hard on yourself. I mean, I think the fact that just to see you playing live music and kind of doing your thing in that way, people would kind of overlook the obvious physical abominations.
I love the way that it started off flattering. That was great. That was a real good sucker punch.
Yeah, you were listening to that with such hope.
I know. I was actually thinking, yeah, you know what? I'm not that bad.
But you have a great. Again, I started to keep going back to The Office. I know Extras is a massive hit, but there's a scene in I think it's that same episode with the guitar where you're singing songs.
Yeah.
And Dawn, I think her name was Dawn, gets upset at something, and she's really upset. And you look at Gareth and go, "Get the guitar."
Yeah,
like
that's great.
It's time to straighten this poor dear out.
I love the idea that people think they can sort out people's lives with a song.
Yeah.
But just like Ebony and Ivory stopped all racism.
It certainly did.
We can't get.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel over there about the whole Paul McCartney divorce? I mean, it's got to be, you guys got to be sick to your stomach with Heather Mills.
Yeah. Well, I don't really get involved in tittle tattle, but you've got to side with a Beatle, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got to side with him. There was this joke on a comedy award show where someone said this is the castle where Sir Paul McCartney went down on one knee, or Heather Mills as we call her.
That's a good.
Oh, that is a gem.
That's a 1,000 to 1 shot in it. When everything comes together for the perfect joke.
Yeah, that really is amazing. I've made fun of her, and I just go right for the barbaric angle, but that's a clever, pretty clean, funny joke.
And let's not forget the season finale of Extras is what, Sunday on HBO?
Oh, it was Sunday.
Last Sunday. Aired last Sunday.
It just aired.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just aired. I think it's every day this week, isn't it? And then the DVD after Christmas. But,
Right.
Oh, I'd love you guys to see that. I think you'll like it. I think it's the best thing we've ever done. So, yeah.
Do you know how rare it is, by the way, to have such a massive hit and then to follow it up with a different massive hit? I mean, it's amazing. Normally, after somebody has, you look at MASH. Those poor guys tried after MASH, just the drivel they tried after that brilliant series, and here you are following it up with another giant hit on the same network.
Yeah, but I think the difference is it's not a giant commercial hit in America, because MASH wasn't that the biggest sitcom? Didn't it get the 50 million?
Yeah, but Ricky, there was only 4 channels back then.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Oh, I know. It's the same here. The people used to get sort of like 25 million now.
Yeah.
And now it's a hit if you get 4 or 5. But
Sure.
I think that we were never a Seinfeld or a Friends, so it was slightly easier for us to follow it up. But it was never about being commercially large for us. We wanted the program to be good, and we always said that we'd rather it be 1 million people's favourite programme than 20 million people's 10th favourite programme.
Yeah.
Because the point of any art, even a lowly art, like, entertainment or television, is to make a big connection. You want to make a big connection and, have an effect. I mean, in your case, you got shut down for 3 months, so you had a vast effect.
Right.
I think that's it. And I genuinely believe that some people deserve to be offended, and if you're not getting a reaction, then you're doing something wrong.
Yes.
I think it's important that people hate you as well as love you, and that you don't go out looking for that. But what you do is uncompromised, and you're committed to it, some people are going to find it horrible, offensive, and unfunny. But you don't want to be in that middle ground. You don't want people to say, "Yeah, it's all right. That's the worst. Yeah, it was all right." There's nothing worse than that. So
it makes no impact on anybody either way.
Yeah, exactly. You have no effect on the world.
What do you, is there anything because I personally, as a comic, there's things I hate in comedy. Is there anything that you really just makes you sick to your stomach in comedy?
Loads. Catchphrases, getting a laugh out of props and silly wigs. People who say things like, "Do you remember the 70s?" Yeah, of course we fucking remember the 70s. I saw one comedian come out and go, "Okay, everyone, what's this lyric?" And he's saying it, and they said, "Yeah." And I was thinking, well, where's the comedy? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're asking people if they've got Alzheimer's or not. No, they haven't. Move on. Oh, God. No, there's loads of things, I think. I don't like puns much. Puns, people who do punny things.
Little wordplay jokes are kind of repugnant.
Yeah, exactly.
Although a guy that I think does a good job, even though he does rely on a sight gag at one point, but he's really funny. Eddie Izzard's a weird combination of a guy. He went out and drag, but I still watched his special. And I thought, wow, the material was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with Eddie Izzard is that you sit in the front row and he starts doing some stuff and you think, that man's got breasts. It's like you don't want any distractions. Oh, there's a man in a dress. Yeah, I mean, again, at the risk of sounding NPC, I still find transvestites quite funny. I like the ones that turn at about the age of 50, and they go on a talk show with their teenage sons and daughters who want to kill themselves and they can't go to school anymore, and they're sitting there in a dressed like their auntie, saying, "I've never felt so comfortable." They're still funny.
And they always pick the worst dress to wear, something your grandma would wear. They don't even know how to dress sexy as a woman.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah, real frumpy. Yeah. Why'd they do that? I must admit, I still find transvestites funny. And someone falling over in the street, I still find funny.
Especially if it's the same person. an older man in a mini pearl dress just falling into a manhole is a hoot.
A 55-year-old ex-bank manager who gets his knickers caught on a car bumper and is dragged along screaming, "I'm a man!"
And his pants are pulled down and his body is chafed. Yeah, I hear
you. Look, we don't want to get you closed down again.
Hey, are you doing the gigs now? Obviously, let me just plug again here. It's called a Ricky Gervais Out of England tour. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster. It's July 12th in Los Angeles, the Kodak Theater, which is where they do the Oscars every year. It's a great theater, great venue for a show. And here in New York City, July 14 and 15 at the WAMU Theater at MSG. You can also go to Ricky Gervais, GERVAIS.com.
You don't even have to promote these gigs, Ricky.
They will sell out.
They're going to sell out.
I think they're well on the way. Yeah, I think they're nearly gone actually. But you want to.
Oh, so you're just calling to say hi? I like that.
Just going to hang out with you guys and get catch up on what things you've done wrong.
I think
the easiest thing is to go to rickygervais.com and because there might be other dates as well. So
I get the feeling that you enjoy our f-ups, Ricky.
I swore. And you said F-ups, and I swore. Was that bad?
That's okay. We got on XM, they heard it, but on the terrestrial radio side here, they dumped out of it. But some of our audience still heard it. So it's all right. It happens. People slip once in a while.
I apologize.
No worries. No worries.
I do apologize.
We do it all the time.
No worries.
We slip.
Okay. I thought it was okay. I'm so sorry. Oh, people think I'm such a...
No, stop.
No, that's all right. You just call up and use filthy language.
Potty mouth.
You were talking about donkeys. doing it to men.
No, donkeys would be queer. It was a horse. A donkey is a sap. A horse is a regal, beautiful animal.
I know. And they're not as stubborn, are they?
No, they're not. That's funny. Yeah, you don't have to push a horse very hard. Just kind of smile at it. It's hooves up. Hey, we got to take a break. We got commercials and stuff. But we're really, really psyched that you're coming back. We'd love you to come in studio again, man.
I will. An absolute pleasure. I'll see you all soon. Thank you.
You're brilliant, man. We love you.
Cheers, man.
Thanks, Ricky.
Ricky Gervais, everyone. Extras is going to be on again tonight, 8:30 on HBO.
And I love that guy.
He's great.
It's Opie and Anthony.
Hey, this is Ricky Gervais, and you're listening to my pal, Lil Jimmy Norton. He's not my pal.
Hey, this is Jim Norton. My 2008 tour has on sale now on Ticketmaster. In February, I'll be at Bananas in Poughkeepsie, Cobb's in San Francisco, and The Egg in Albany, as well as the House of Blues in Cleveland. In March, I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia, Inglewood, Colorado, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Go to my MySpace for details or go to Ticketmaster. Thanks.
I know nothing stays the same, but if you're willing to play the game, it's coming around again.
Opie, Anthony, Jim Norton. In the house. You got tickets for the New Year's Eve thing, Jimmy?
Yeah, I would like to. As a special gift, we're going to give away 2 pairs of tickets, one pair for each caller. Prize pack includes a pair of tickets to my New Year's Eve show at the North Fork Theater in Long Island, a pair of VIP passes, and a pair of VIP parking pass, and one pair of VIP parking pass. So call in now.
Oh, whoa. What about the cheesecake?
Well, that's what we're going to do after. Is we're going to go over to
slice of cheesecake for everybody.
Cheesecake, yes. Well, it's a slice of cheesecake for everybody if you pay. You can't get free cheesecake.
No.
At FH Riley's. I will be getting free cheesecake there. You will not.
Crazy?
I am special.
I'll be there.
Are you definitely going to come?
What?
Are you going to be in town?
What?
I would like that if you came.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Oh.
New Year's Eve?
Yeah, Anthony's
I'm there. So there.
Anthony's not at my gigs as often, so I'll be happy if you're both there.
I'll be there.
Are you coming, E-Rock? That's good, talking to thin air again.
What, E-Rock?
I didn't hear a word you said. If I didn't hear it, they didn't.
Huh?
Are you coming to my New Year's Eve show?
Yes.
Good, that's a boy.
By the way, there's a bunch of copycat cats out there. They're doing the Cinnamon Challenge, and they're putting E-Rock in the search engine on YouTube. Now he goes there to check it out. You're a star. People are, following your lead. I know you're not the first one to do it online, but people are following E-Rock's lead, even though we said don't try this at home. But
which is really stupid, by the way.
Why would they listen to us? We saw someone almost die in front of us, and for the first time in our careers, we decided to do the right thing and tell people not to do this, but they're doing it anyway, so what the hell. Owned by the Cinnamon Challenge, quality, whatever that means, in parentheses, and then it says E-Rock. They're just throwing E-Rock in the search engine so they get their views up. They know what they're doing. It's no big deal. The guy just doesn't get it done, and he doesn't choke like you.
No?
He's like a real man.
He's a man's man.
He doesn't breathe in the cinnamon into his lungs.
Well, he didn't have Bob Kelly dumping it right down his windpipe either.
He swallowed it.
Yeah, he's probably going to...
No, he didn't really swallow it. It goes on for a while. Hey, let's say hi to Ian in Rochester, the home of Brother Weeze. What's up, Ian?
Ian.
Hey, Owen, love you guys, love the show.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You know, I just wanted to call. I was so excited. I ran home last night from work, and I'm thinking, I got to see this Anthony thing on his iPod.
Oh, the podcast.
His firearms and his racial affinity for firearms. Yeah. Anywho, I get my girlfriend to look at the show, or to look at the thing. Anthony starts going on, filling banana clips, talking about aiming Enfields and talking about how the shotgun is the best because the rifle is causing collateral damages. It's going through houses and hitting the neighbors. Man, she has lost all respect for me and the kind of thing I do every day. I'm a driver. So I come home and I tell her how it's kind of an intellectual show. You guys are smart. You guys are cool. Now she just completely given up on me.
She thinks I'm crazy?
Well, you know, I got a Mauser not too long ago, so I've got this rifle in my house. But it's an antique weapon, you know, and it's cool, and it's fun. And I had to, I had to tell her, look, we live in the city, and there's just in case anything happens, we want something around. And I thought this was going to be the selling point for the next step.
Oh, yeah. Perhaps if you want to get a weapon for the house, you shouldn't show that podcast. Yeah. It's good advice, but I think after reviewing it myself, yeah, that could be a problem. People, I don't know, people kind of, I'm surprised people have commented that I come off a little crazy in that.
I would say this. I don't mean to interrupt you, sir, but I haven't even seen the podcast yet. You can go to Lazlo.com and see
With
it.
the W, by the way.
Yes,
People are getting confused.
LAZLOW.
.com, yeah.
But I just know Anthony and the way he talks about guns. He probably talks about guns in the same erotic tone that I would talk about pornography. And that's probably where the creepy part comes in.
I read your book, Jimmy. You're absolutely right. The guy's sitting there. He's got a cocktail in his hand, and he's very matter-of-factly, and the whole time I'm doing this, my girlfriend's watching over my shoulder, and I'm horrified, and I'm thinking, oh, well, at least he's not aiming the guns. Oh, God, he's aiming the guns. He starts aiming the guns. I'm thinking, oh, my God, and I really look up to you guys, and I think you guys are really cool guys. But Anthony, you really came off kind of creepy there, man. I'm thinking,
yeah, maybe a little bit.
Well, I can't wait to see the next one, guys. You guys are great. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, Ian. Say hi to Brother Weeze for us when he's out and about in town there. We got Mall Santa. This is probably the story of the day. This guy, he's been the Mall Santa for years. He's like 65, 68 years old. And some lady comes crutching over, sits on Santa's lap, and then starts groping him. And Santa's not too happy about this, which surprised me. I thought most Santas would be happy if a woman was on his lap, groping his junk. His junk, yeah. But
Sure.
I was going to try to make a Christmas ball joke there, but then figured we would get dumped out. But yes, she started groping him.
Groping his, oh my God, what are they called? The things that hang on the tree.
Christmas,
yeah.
Christmas.
Groping, how about this? Groping his tinsel and ornaments. Well, did he rat her out, or did somebody see it?
He ratted her out, but I think his wife's involved with this whole thing. So he's the Santa Claus, and I think the wife takes the pictures, and so maybe she said, "You gotta say something about this."
Of course.
Because why else would you say something?
Yeah, I mean,
Getting a quick grope.
if somebody's grabbing your presents, hey, don't grab my stocking full of coal, honey.
She groped his stocking stuffer. Stephen S. from Bayshore. Here's the news story.
Well, a shopping mall Santa got more than he bargained for with an X-rated wish list. The 65-year-old Chris Kringle says he was taking Christmas wishes at the Danbury Fair Mall in Connecticut when a woman sat on his lap and then groped him. Police quickly arrested 33-year-old Sandrama Lamy, who couldn't get too far. She was on crutches. A fellow Santa was shocked to hear what happened.
It's something that should not be ignored, nor should it be something that you condone or laugh at.
Oh, another goody two-shoe Santa.
Shut up.
There's plenty of guys out there that are playing Santa at malls going, God, I wish it was me.
Yeah, it can't be.
Don't show my face on camera, but I really wish this was me.
Why would you want to be groped? I mean, considering you're bouncing children on your lap all day, that's not creepy. But a woman gropes you and you have her arrested.
Right. Right. Good point, Jimmy.
Ew, a grown-up.
Right. No. Mall Santa should be executed.
Ew, a grown-up with the wrong parts. Yuck.
Yuck.
Yucky.
Nor should it be something that you condone or laugh or chuckle about. Santa is a family kind of guy.
Lamy insists she didn't do anything wrong. She's been charged with sexual assault and is due in court next month.
Did you hear the woman in the back?
Relax.
So maybe something weird happened? Hopefully.
She was just naughty.
Oh, she's not getting any presents this year.
Shut up.
She was just naughty.
The ad-libbing news people.
Looks like she's going to get coal in her stocking this year.
Oh.
Like all sorts of awful Christmas jokes that have no laughter.
Yeah, she's not going to get any presents. That's what she said.
Right.
Who's laughing?
No one. Drivel. News people ad-libbing.
Would have been funny if she said, I bet he wanted to choke her with tinsel. That would have been kind of funny.
Punch her in the, and then the worst word you could use.
bank account.
Why don't we get this mall scent on the show? Have we tried? We should try calling him and see what that's about. And now we go to another death at Disney.
Wow.
Another death at Disney. The happiest place on earth.
Yeah. Boy, that place is becoming, chucking up quite the body count. It's like the Nam.
The Ted offense. I was just
Yeah.
What's
Fallujah.
What's the website, E-Rock? Deathatdisney.com or something like that? You know, because Disney, they like to hide the fact that people die at their park, so they kind of hose it down. We've done this bit a million times. They hose it down, and then they reopen the ride and hope no one noticed the body bag being brought out of the park.
They put the little wooden Mickey up that's waving and says, sorry, this ride closed for maintenance or something.
Yeah.
But they're going to get to the point where they're going to have to make like I don't know, see Goofy dressed as an Undertaker, all wacky, the wooden sign as they carry out a small little casket.
And what they mean by closed for maintenance, they're in there scrubbing blood off the seat so they can grab your money.
There's a hearse with mouse ears on it.
Yeah.
Taking away.
Right. But what is the website for the people that have never checked it out? Because they just list all the crazy crap that has happened at Disney. A lot of people have died over the years. Here's the latest one.
A death at Disney. A man was unconscious after riding the Mount Everest roller coaster at Animal Kingdom and was later pronounced dead. Eric Von Anken is...
Oh, what sucks about this? Now they got to slow the ride down for everybody else. He probably had one of those heart attacks. Because he wasn't in proper health, and now we all have to suffer. Yep.
The G-forces got him.
Now it's going to be a slower ride for everyone else.
And was later pronounced dead. Eric Von Anken is live at Disney World with some more on this breaking news. What happened, Eric?
And, Bubs, this is the Expedition Everest ride at Animal Kingdom. Remember, it's a newer ride at Disney, a roller coaster. The sheriff's office telling us that the cameras that they put in place on the ride to capture your picture. Well, 50 seconds before the ride ended, the camera captured this man conscious. He was unconscious when the ride pulled into the unloading area. He was tended to by paramedics immediately and pronounced dead at Celebration Hospital. Disney right now, we're told, is assisting the family in any way they can.
They call their hospital...
Celebration Hospital.
How can you call a hospital Celebration Hospital?
It's wonderful.
How about just a very... just plain name. Just call it hospital.
The hospital.
The hospital. Celebration Hospital. What are you celebrating when you go to the hospital?
How funny is that?
Celebration Hospital.
What deluded...
You know the visual I got? You're on that ride and you're a little freaked out because you're not into roller coasters, right? So you're freaked out and you're turning to the guy next to you for a little comfort. You know, when you look toward other humans for comfort when you're in a weird situation and there's dead guy with his eyes open and his mouth agape.
That would be creepy.
Oh, my
Roller coaster
God.
dead guy.
Roller coaster dead guy.
Celebration Hospital they brought him to. That's good.
Make your own jokes. That's an easy one.
It's so awkward where they have to like do the confetti and put on the party hats when they know the guy's dead, but they have to because it's part of the ritual.
Right.
So like they play that awful Kool and the Gang song with bah, 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 as your family's trying to cry with dignity.
There you go.
Oh,
poor guy.
Yeah, but obviously he had a bad heart to begin with. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
One guy dies. You know, if 18 people died on the ride, they should probably slow it down. But, you know, if one guy drops dead, that's what you...
Well, they had a problem with that Mission Space ride, too. That one is like a centrifuge you're in. So you could feel like G-forces. Right. And you get that illusion of the video that you're watching and then the forces playing on your body, and it really feels like you're accelerating really quickly.
Spinning in a circle or no?
Yeah, you're spinning, but your back is to... the centrifuge. So you're kind of pointing, you're facing the middle of this pivot, and then you're spinning on that, so you feel pressure pushing you back in the seat.
Yeah, they should maybe let some scientists look at some of these rides before they open it up to the public, because I'm thinking back in the day, they're like, what could possibly happen?
The Dumbo ride, how fast is that going?
Right. And then they look into in that centrifuge ride, your organs are pretty much being pushed to the back of your body cavity. I don't think that could possibly be a good thing for you.
He went from Celebration Hospital, they took him to Mission Morgue, which is a nice little ride there, too. They slide you in.
Wait. So
it's like the Alpine slide. It's all cold, and then you end up in a freezer.
Hey, Celebration is the name of the town, by the way. That's fine. That Disney made up, but you shouldn't call it Celebration Hospital. It should just be hospital.
Do people die on that mission ride?
Oh, yeah. They've had a couple of people die. Kids, too. A little kid died on that one.
By falling in the middle of it, or?
No, just some kind of physical thing. They had to slow that down, too, because it was a little too much G-force on people during takeoff.
You feel like you're taking off?
Yeah, you feel like you're being pushed back in your seat. Like you're smashed back in your seat.
Are you sitting or standing?
You're sitting.
Well, some of those rides you're standing.
Yeah, some of them,
The old school, you would stand there and just be, pushed up against the wall, and there's a pit in the middle that you're scared that you're going to fall into. But the gravity
people threw up a lot?
Yeah.
They had to delay the ride because somebody threw up before we went on it.
Oh, God. And that'll come right back in your face.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you can go to findadeath.com, and there's a selection on Disney deaths. And that link will be up on onaradio.com later today. What was that other thing? We'll promote that going into break. Eric in Jersey, what's up?
Hey, just want to let you guys know, if you notice, they said that the guy was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Yeah.
So that's why Disney keeps claiming that no guys in the park, because they dragged them out before they're pronounced dead.
Oh, no, we've done our research on Disney. They don't want anyone officially dying on their property, so they will not pronounce you dead until you're off the property. Unless that has changed. We read that back in the day.
Yeah, I would think they don't want
people
dying there.
officially dying at the happiest place on earth. So they wait till you're in the parking lot or something, and then they call it. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Peter in Glen Cove.
Please keep the corpse away from the closing doors.
It's a funeral after all. It's a funeral after all.
That's gotta suck, man. Save up all your change from many, many years to go down to Disney and one of your family members dies. Do you continue? I mean, you got the hotel. Do you stay there?
Yeah, what do you do? You hang out, finish your vacation.
And convince yourself he would have wanted us to.
Yeah.
Right. That famous thing.
Wanted it this way.
That's the thing that makes us all, go on with our lives. Oh, he would have wanted it that way.
It would be cool.
No, he would want to be alive.
Someone was suggesting that they bury all the dead people in that little yard in the haunted mansion where the tombstones are.
By real people.
Bury them there.
Buried there, sure.
Is a haunted mansion scary at Disney?
No.
It's not?
If you're a kid. The scariest part is at the beginning when they shut the lights out and the room stretches, and then they shut the lights out and you look up and there's somebody hanging by the neck up there, and it looks really creepy. And that's where all the kids scream, and I laugh because screaming, crying kids just crack me up.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Chris in Buffalo.
Can I interrupt one second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Stan said something about that?
You cried, really? I thought he was just making a joke.
Than.
No,
Sweet
I did.
Than.
I cried as a youngster on the old Haunted Mansion.
What part got
Were
you?
you scared, or did Mother try to hug you?
Mother.
Yeah, how is Mother?
I'm in a mess, too. I don't know. It's her birthday today, actually.
Did you send a card?
Why would I do that? What's the gain in it for me?
He sent her a ticket to Disney to go on that ride.
We have to do a show dedicated to all our mother problems.
Yeah.
Mother.
Because I don't think you're the only one that has issues with mother. So what part of the haunted house got you?
It wasn't even any of the... It was just when the chair turned around and started going backwards down a ramp.
Oh, that one got you?
Yeah, I started bawling.
Aw.
You just assumed there had to be some kind of malfunction at that given moment, right?
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with the situation you were in.
I know the part you're talking about. It's the one where you get, and it brings you to the outside portion.
Yes.
Where the guy's with the dog and in the shovel, and he's digging a grave. But you just didn't like the feeling of...
Maybe as a flashback to Mother trying to take me out with a minivan in my youth. I don't know. I took a swing.
You out with...
backing down a boat ramp.
Oh, I got it.
You bring back a little memory for me there, Than. I cried at Howe Caverns. Howe Caverns is in upstate New York, and you take an elevator down 200-300 feet, and then there's all these little tight little tunnels, and there's those things that hang from the ceiling, and those things that come up from the ground, and there's
stalactites, stalagmites.
Yeah, and there's those mineral things, lots of minerals around. And at the end of this thing, you're squeezing through really tiny crevices and stuff, and you're already aware that you're 200-300 feet underground, and there's only an elevator back up, possibly maybe a staircase if the elevator fails. and you get in a little canoe, and they take you for a little canoe ride down this little underwater river, and then it stops because there's like a wooden fence, and they turn off the lights, and then basically tell you that on the other side of this is just like emptiness and just drops down for like ever to the center of the earth. And they let you sit there in the dark and think about that.
Think about it.
Which would be
Think
fine
about
if you were like over 13, 14 years old, but when you're a kid, that horrified the hell out of me.
Freaked you out. It's like a bottomless pit.
Oh, yeah. I was like, just turn the effing lights back on, all right, and stop messing with us.
Could
it's
you
a
see
stupid
anything?
canoe ride. Not well. When you get closer to the wooden fence, you just see this darkness on the other side because it's lit up nice before that. But this is as far as the canoe goes because I guess it's like an underground waterfall. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've been there. And then they just stop you in the canoe, and for dramatic effect, they turn the lights off. And you're 300 feet underground, and now it's pitch dark, and you're aware that on the other side of this is not a good thing.
A wooden fence doesn't sound very sturdy. Could they have metaled it up a little?
Yeah. It's just like just a wooden fence.
And it's probably ancient.
With a couple, it was probably built 100 years ago or something. But that made me cry, Fancy. I'm with you.
All right, good.
I was 18.
I cried when my grandmother took me to Coney Island on the Cyclone.
Mm-hmm.
And she was, God bless my grandmother, she was probably 65, and she and I went on that roller coaster together. And I wept like a washwoman.
Really?
I wept, and there was a black guy and his son in front of us. And
No.
Yes. In front of
At
us.
Coney Island?
In front of us.
Wow.
In the seat in front of us. And he was calming me down, which was, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I was blubbering.
That bad?
I was not always this picture of masculinity. You see with his legs crossed next to you. Feminine glasses.
Feminine fashion.
Let's say hi to Tom in Florida. We got to take a break, but Tom, what do you got?
Hey guys, I wanted to tell little Jimmy happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
No problem, no problem. I'm an EMT, and what the stories we heard was like if you continued CPR, they were technically still alive. So what happens is they'll do CPR in the theme park, so they're still alive, and then they'll pronounce you dead at the hospital. So you're technically still alive the entire time.
Ugh.
So.
In Pirates of the Caribbean, it's CPR.
Hey, Warren from Connecticut, he's with me. I was like 4 or 5 at Hal Cameron's, and I screamed my head off. Yeah, it's a creepy thing if you're a kid. It's not that much fun.
That sounds scary.
Let's go to Kyle in Jersey. Kyle.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
I was wondering, do they let you use Disney dollars for a funeral?
By the way,
Paid for in Disney dollars.
I read something, and I'm hoping, Eric, what does that say, please, at the very bottom of that paper?
And this is the radio tease, by the way, because we got to take a break. So this is what E-Rock wrote. Go ahead.
You did write that.
I cried at a Sha Na Na concert.
Hand in your resume today. Hand in your
Hand in your resume, yes.
Jesus.
So we can forward it to the next company. that
Yeah,
we're gonna-
exactly. Wow, really? All right, you'll tell the story next. It's Opie and Anthony. Go. Let's go right back to the phones. 877-212-0&A. Listening to Opie and Anthony. We got a guy that used to work at Disney. It's JR in California. JR, what's up?
Hey, this is JR over here in San Diego.
Hey,
JR. I used to work at Disneyland in Anaheim, California.
Okay.
And there was a girl that was on the ride, and she was wearing sandals. And you know them guys that walk around with a big stick and have balloons tied to it and strings and all kinds of stuff for their balloons.
Yeah.
Well, there's a metal plate on top of that stick. There was a long stick, and when the ride started going in circles, there was a swing with the chains attached to it. When it started going in circles, the guy was close to the fence, the guardrail, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And for some reason, he leaned back. Well, he let the stick fall back, and that's when the ride was spinning around, and it chopped off her toe, and I was right there. She was wearing sandals.
You
there was blood all over the place.
You saw a toe come off?
Yeah, I was right there. Right, I saw it happen, and then I saw right away they stopped the ride, and I saw all the blood pouring out, and I could see the toe.
Yeah, but that's an easy one. You could just sweep it into a bush or something.
Yeah, that's
no one will know.
Nah, but you know what they did with it?
Let the rats nibble on it.
One of those guys come by with the broom and the shovel really quickly, like they are whenever any garbage is in Disney, and just sweep up the toe.
Yeah.
No, you know what? the worst part?
And then business as usual.
Yeah.
You know what they did with the tow, though?
What?
They called it a tow truck.
You did not do the tow truck
I didn't
bit.
hear what you said.
Tow
You
they
did not
called it
just do the tow truck bit.
Did he think that was going to just be a hit?
Are you effing... Call back so we can make fun of you. You don't do the tow truck joke and then just hang up.
Hang up.
We fell for it, though.
We certainly did. Like a
Call
bunch
a
of
morning
queers.
zoo with that crap. The tow truck joke.
Wow, hot tow truck.
Jesse
Shut up.
from Long Island, what's up?
Hey, I don't know if you guys went on the encounter ride. I don't know if it took it down, but I went on when I was like 8.
Yeah, it's very scary.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack. That was the scariest moment of my life when I was...
What was the problem with the alien counter ride that made it so scary?
Well, the alien, like, it's in this tube, and then it makes you, like, panic, the glass breaks, the thing starts...
She's describing it like if it's a 911 call and she's all confused. There's a tube and the alien. You sit in this theater setting pretty much in the round, and you sit in these special seats, and these things come over your shoulders to kind of hold you down. The ride doesn't move at all, really. The seats kind of bump up and down. But then in the middle, it's supposed to be some kind of transporter thing. And they're supposed to transport this nice, cuddly thing into the middle. But the signal gets mixed up, and they get this huge alien. And he busts out, and the lights go completely dark. And this thing that came down over your shoulders actually has things in it, like it blows air into your ear, and it has speakers. So you'll hear like... and feel hot air going down your neck like this thing is right behind you. And you kind of get the illusion and this weird feeling like this big monster's behind you ready to grab you. And somebody in front of you gets killed, and there's this spray of water that feels like blood goes all over your face, and it's pitch black. So the kids that are in there, again, get horrified. They're crying and... Again, hysterical, funny. You just got to laugh at crying children.
Why can't you understand as a kid that it's just an illusion?
It's an illusion.
All of a sudden, there's real aliens that in a ride that is all about aliens?
Yeah. I think the creepiest part is the guy that was hosting it on the TV screen was that pedophile from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the principal.
Oh, Jeffrey Jones.
Ugh, yeah.
Old file trade partners with Pee-wee.
Yes.
Old bug eyes. He's a naughty boy, that Jeffrey Jones.
Certainly is naughty.
Naughty boy with very exotic tastes.
Yeah. All right, Jesse, thank you.
I wonder, you want this gig at Disney? Yes! Yes, I do.
Where do I apply?
The 3 applicants ahead of him wound up mysteriously dead.
Yeah.
2 other guys.
Oh, I guess we got to hire you. There should be a website dedicated to rides that we used to do when we were younger that are now, like, not happening because they realize how ridiculously dangerous they are. I bet you has to be a website like that somewhere. But before you find that, E-Rock, why don't you tell us why you cried at Sha Na Na?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
I was about 3 years old.
What were you, their promoter?
And my dad liked them. So we went to their concert. I was 3 years old, and I guess we had aisle seats. And this guy, Bowser, came over and started singing to me. I started screaming and panicking.
Stupid Bowser with his big mouth. Did he open his big mouth and make his muscles in front of you?
Yeah.
And that scared you?
Leaning in with the mic while he was singing, and all you hear is me screaming in panic.
And that led you to overeating.
No, that was later.
He just saw how far a mouth could open, and he's like, I could put food in there.
Right. If I open my mouth as wide as he does, man, what I could get in there.
That must have been something for Bowser, though. Like, wow, my career's going great. I'm singing, and this little kid's crying at me.
And he had the worst muscles. He didn't have muscles.
No.
Yeah. Why are you showing off muscles if you don't have muscles to show off?
Yeah, what a dumb... Was that like a goof of a guy, or was he really thinking he was good?
I think so. There.
Sha Na Na. What's more
there they
importantly?
go.
All right.
The oddest thing, Sha Na Na at Woodstock. They were at the original Woodstock.
Were they?
Yeah.
How long have they been around?
Really out of place.
Oh,
I don't know.
Mid-'60s, somewhere around there, yeah.
What'd they do, just all 50s covers?
I don't know.
I don't know if they did originals, but they were completely late to the party as far as the 50s music went.
But they were one of the biggest bands from that era.
I think it was a goof.
It was a goof band, I think. I don't know.
They had a show.
We don't really need to talk about dumb
I'm
Sha-Na-Na.
obsessed with Sha-Na-Na. I liked Bowser when I
Find
was
some
a boy.
Sha-Na-Na facts for us, E-Rock.
That's right.
Bowser stinks.
Hey, where's Travis? He knows a little bit about football. What was this? Michael Vick tribute? Because now you got 5 Falcons that got fined and are they
No, they're just
suspended?
fined, yeah.
Good for them. I like the fact they did this.
Yeah. What was this? What was the story?
They yelled the N-word into the camera.
No, after they scored a touchdown on Sunday, one of them underneath their jersey had a black shirt on that said "Free Michael Vick," and they lifted up their jersey so the camera showed that, and that falls under it's illegal to wear something under your jersey. That
they found a rule that they broke,
and then some of them put that put that face stuff
the
that you
things
put under your eyes.
the anti-glare
Yeah,
or whatever.
that had like messages to Vic on there.
Oh wow!
Like what?
I don't know. I think just like his name, his number.
They're
stuff like
insane. Of course, he should go away for a little while.
that. Yeah, that's what.
Maybe not. How long is he going away for?
2 years.
Yeah, he'll do half that though.
That's a long time.
He'll miss one football
Dogs.
season, then he'll come back and he'll be just. Well, they're starting to say that he won't come back as a quarterback.
I don't think he will. No.
Why?
Quarterbacks have short shelf lives to begin
They have
with.
short shelf lives because they get hit a lot. But if you're in jail and all you're doing is working out, I think he's going to come back.
I think it's going to be
in
hard
shape.
for a team to take him.
I don't know about that because what happened? Maybe after jail because when the offensive line bends over, they'll just go from one to the other.
We know a couple NFL players, and the guy I'm talking about is still playing, but he's told me some stories about how strict the NFL is with everything.
Well, how many years?
They're
has
one of
Vic
the
played?
strictest leagues.
How many years has he played?
4 or 5.
He
around
absolutely
that.
can come back, especially. You get guys that.
Oh, I
play-
think physically he can come back. I don't know if the
he's
team's
going to
going
come
to
back
take him.
as a utility player or something like that.
He could. I mean, he was a Russian quarterback, so he could come back as
I think it's awesome they're sticking up for him, but I mean, the guy, he's got to go away.
He
for a little
deserves to
bit.
go to jail.
You can't strangle dogs and drown them and stuff.
Drown them.
It'll haunt him his whole career, but he will come back. He'll come back probably as a backup for somebody just to ease him in so people can't go too crazy. And they'll protest and they'll go, look, the guy was convicted. He did his time.
Yep.
He paid the penalty. That's what America's about. We're not going to stop him from. He'll come back. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Aren't there people that do horrific things to animals and don't get jail time like that, though? It's an odd thing.
Yeah.
I think his personality might have.
His was way over the top.
Yeah, but there are people that do really cruel, just horrid things to animals.
To
just
one
out
cat
of
or one
pleasure.
dog, though, this was like.
He was financing the whole
Yeah, this was a.
thing.
Yeah, okay, it was
This was a killing field.
Yeah.
For dogs. And whatever. I don't think he should have got 2 years, but someone else that cried a Sha-Na-Na. It's Nicole in Jersey. Nicole, what's up?
Oh my God, when I was growing up and the show was on TV or whatever, that would used to make me cry.
Bowser would made you cry. Why, hon?
I don't know. I would cry. I would wake up in the middle of the night with nightmares. I cried all the time. It was awful. I hated that show.
No one liked Bowser opening his mouth like that.
No one
It was
liked
scary.
Bowser.
I
No
liked
one.
Bowser.
Who would like Bowser?
I thought he was cool when I was a kid.
No, you didn't.
I did. I swear. I was young. I wanted to be Bowser. I thought he was hot stuff.
You're an ass.
Of course I was an ass.
He's on my list of why is this guy famous?
Yeah.
Because you can't really figure it out.
And he's still famous.
Most people would not be able to give you an answer why he's famous. Another one on that list is Tom Arnold. Why is he famous?
Roseanne.
And why is he still famous?
He's a talent.
Oh, wow.
Show me some video, Bowser Hawk.
Let's go to Max in Dallas. Max, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on, boys?
Max.
You think E-Rock seeing Bowser was what led him to start wearing all the kids' T-shirts?
Oh, you think he got that fashion statement from Bowser? E-Rock's been known to wear a tight-fitting shirt.
Yeah, he usually did.
Do the Bowser pose there, Ira.
Max, you're usually pretty good for our show, but today you
Ouch.
You just had a bomb.
Crap the bed. It happens.
Yeah.
Max. Don't feel bad about it. You call back tomorrow.
Get back on that horse.
We love Max.
Yeah,
we'll get beneath that horse.
Get back
like
under
Mr.
it.
Hands.
Let's go to Chris in Jersey.
Hooves
Chris.
up.
Hooves up.
I love when you said that before. Hooves up.
Chris?
Hey, what's going on, boys?
Hey, man.
Hey,
Yeah, the thing about Michael Vick is that it's not if the team's going to touch him, it's a matter if the commissioner is going to let him back. I guess with gambling, or like with Pete Rose, he got suspended indefinitely.
Nah, they're going to let him back because he's doing his time, man.
Yeah, I'm not
They weren't able to really do anything with Pete Rose. Pete Rose never did time for his crime. But this guy's actually going to jail and doing his thing, so they're going to have to let him back.
All right.
That's my opinion. I could obviously be wrong. Who knows? But that's what I'm thinking. All right, Chris. And then in other football news, the fans voted Sean Taylor to the Pro Bowl, which is, I guess, nice for his family or something. I don't know.
Who is he? Oh, the guy who passed away. Okay, wait, but why? Were those votes done before he was shot?
No.
But he's like, he can't play.
Yeah, why would... that's an
I
odd
get it. It's a
little
gesture.
honorary,
Nice.
Well, he was
posthumous.
He was one of the better players in the
I'm
the
sure he was
NFL.
great, and he died in a horrible, very unfair way.
Yeah. People
to yell
checking
at
out
me.
people checking out Anthony's podcast on Lazlo.com, LAZLOW.com.
Thank you.
And because of that, we're getting a lot of gun commercials coming in. Here's one
Ooh.
for, I think it's Don's Guns.
Hi, folks. This is Don from Don's Guns, where the Second Amendment is live and well. I'm standing in the rental department. Want to shoot a .50 caliber Desert Eagle? Want to shoot a Glock? Want to shoot a high-powered rifle? You can rent them. They're $10 to rent. That's all it is. Come on in, rent the gun of your choice, because I don't want to make any money, folks. I just love to rent guns.
All right. That guy sounds a little crazy.
Wow, there you go.
Yeah, certain states have these places. You could just go down there, plop down some money, grab whatever you want, and fire away. You won't find that in New York.
No.
For sure.
John in Rosedale. John?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
What's up with Flip-Flop and Opie, man? What's happening here? 1 second, he's Michael Vick's not coming back. No one says 3 words, and maybe he will be. Maybe he will be.
Wait,
Stick to your guns there, Ope.
Wait, what did I can't really hear what you're saying.
He's
What-
saying that you flip-flop because I said that Michael Vick will come back, but I don't think you did.
I think I...
No, absolutely.
Wait,
To the playback.
Hold on. On an old show or this show?
Just now, a few minutes ago.
Wait, what did I say?
I don't know. Sorry, what did he say? Let's get to the bottom of this. Slow down. Go ahead. Go.
You guys are talking about whether Michael Vick was coming back or not.
Yeah.
Opie was like, no, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. No one said 3 or 4 words. I don't know what he said verbatim.
Dude, no one in the studio is agreeing with you. Everyone's shaking their head no.
Than has something to say, sir.
Stan is going to teach you.
Opie, all right, let me go. Opie said he is coming back, definitely in some form. The only person who said he's not going to play, I think, is Travis.
That might have been Travis, dude.
They might have mixed
Yeah.
up the voices or something.
And to do that.
And don't confuse me for a girl ever again, John.
I'll do my best there, Ope.
Well, sir, I happen to make some very good points once in a
No,
while.
you know what? I don't really give a crap what my my athletes do. I think he should be playing right now. I think it'd be awesome to watch Michael Vick, knowing what he did in his time off.
I agree. They should throw some pit bulls on the field as well.
Yeah, I really don't care. I don't care about the steroid thing. I do care that Roger Clemens is, in my opinion, lying through his teeth, saying he never did any steroids.
Can he say that?
And Mike Lupica, God bless him, he's calling him out, going, "Yeah, whatever. You say whatever you want, but I want to see you say it in front of Congress."
Sir, what's
no one's buying the fact that Roger Clemens didn't do anything.
No, no one is. Sir, do you think he's coming back or no? Sir? Oh, okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Andy Pettit comes forward, said what he said. He's not getting any backlash from it. He said, yeah, I used it to fix my elbow. I heard it made you heal faster. And that's it. No one's talking about, oh, Andy Pettit, oh, Andy Pettit. No one's talking about that. But Clemens, he's still backpedaling, denying.
Well, I mean,
I know what happened.
What?
Oh.
Andy and Roger were on the phone, and they both, this is no good. And Roger said, yeah, man, I'm probably going to come out and just tell people I used it twice for my elbow. And Andy probably said, that's cool, man. And then immediately called the press.
And beat him to it. How funny would
Gave
that be?
him that story.
Yeah, just
now Roger can't come out and go, me too.
Yeah, just throw him under the bus.
What he said.
You son of a... I'm trying to see the exact quote from Clemens today. I got to find it again. Oh, I want to state clearly and without qualification, I did not take steroids, human growth hormone, or any other banned substances at any time in my baseball career or, in fact, my entire life. He has nothing to lose by denying, said the official who asked not to be identified because of the sensitivity of the issue. He's denying because I don't think it's going to be easy to prove that he actually did it.
He
probably knows that there's no real paper trail as far as what he was doing back in the day, in my opinion. I don't know.
So there's most of these guys. No proof.
You know.
Well, no one signs for some package marked steroids for use immediately with
right. And by the way, yes, Dave in Jersey, the Jets would absolutely pick up Michael Vick as soon as he got out of jail.
The Jets would pick up Joel Steinberg if he could throw a football.
Right.
Is that for a topical murder reference?
And throw a child. He can throw a football.
Tie the football to a radiator.
During the Pats game, we had to send in the third guy. Don't even know his name. Don't even want to know his name. I'm like, who's this guy? Jets are in bad shape, especially at the quarterback position. Let's say hi to Lou on Long Island. Lou.
Yeah, how's it going, guys? How you doing this morning?
All right, Lou.
What do you guys think about the whole Chris Simon thing? He not only gets suspended for slashing a Ranger in the face last year, but now steps on a Penguin's ankle, and he's kicked off the Islanders and everything. I mean,
well, I'm an Islander fan. I love Chris Simon. He's an absolute animal. He's not right in the head, and the Islanders pretty much suspended him. I guess he stepped on the ankle, like you said, of a Penguins player the other night.
On purpose?
Didn't he push him down, too? I didn't get to see that game.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. I was there, actually. He, they were just kind of standing right in front of the refs, and he kind of him by pulling his skate out with his own foot. And when the guy's on the ground, just right before he gets onto the bench, just steps right on his ankle with the skate.
That doesn't sound bad until you realize they're wearing skates. Yeah, that would hurt.
Well, and the guy's got a lot of padding down there, but still, the Islanders basically said, Chris, you got to get some help. But they're going to welcome him back on the team eventually. But if you want to have some fun, check out Chris Simon on YouTube. He's had some fine incidents over the last few years. A goon? Oh, boy, is he a goon. That's what hockey needs, though, more of those guys.
Goon it up.
Absolutely goon it up. Thanks, Lou.
Actually, yep.
All right, let's say hi to Chris in Pennsylvania. Chris, we're heading toward a break. What do you got?
Hey, if you read that Clemens quote again, he says he denies taking banned substances, and in baseball, if he was taking them at the time, it wasn't banned. So I think he's just trying to get around
semantics.
But it seems like the way he did it, he named the substances, and he also said at any time in my career. I know what you're saying, but he didn't seem to be covering bases. He was making a very, very emphatic statement of denial.
Yeah, we got to get Roland on the phone. We got to get Pete Rose on our show. Because Pete Rose is loving this scandal right now.
We've made fun of his haircut enough.
Yeah. He's having a lot of fun with this.
You think we notice if Roland just booked a Mongoloid to come in? Hey, Pete, how you doing?
Wait, now, hold on, Pete, slow down.
He sounds very excited.
We understand. Stop spinning in a circle and licking the wall.
Why is Pete Rose staring at a pinwheel?
Easy, Pete. That's a speaker you're trying to eat. We want to talk baseball. Pete, simmer down. Those headphones are on. You're covering your eyes with them, Pete. We can't see you.
Pete, you were a baseball player, not a hockey player. Get that helmet off.
Pete, why are you wearing a long summer dress and Converse ankle-high sneakers? You look like a silly goose, and you're a man.
Pete, you should arrive in a limo, not a little yellow bus.
Pete, that's a newspaper, and you're eating it. That's right, Pete. 2 eating jokes in one stupid segment. What do you think of them apples?
But he's saying that these guys are making a mockery of the game of baseball.
A mockery.
That is my favorite quote of the day right there from Pete Rose. All right, we'll continue. It's Opie and Anthony. Stay there. That's right. It's the Opie and Anthony Show.
Boy.
What else is going on today in America?
In this world. On the planet.
Jimmy, you were talking about that coach.
Yeah.
I had a coach like this when I was in high school. He wanted to be just a cool coach. That's all.
Well, this is not high school. This is in Marietta, Georgia. It's a coach facing charges. He drove his middle school students.
Oh, middle school. All right, I'm out.
Oopsie.
All right, I tap out. I thought it was high school.
No. It was a middle school students on a Christmas vandalism spree that left some plastic reindeer in X-rated sexual positions This guy has been charged with criminal trespass for unlawful purposes and contributing to the delinquency of minors and reckless conduct. I mean, he said he drove students around in the back of a pickup truck, and they vandalized Christmas decorations.
That's awesome.
And they put the reindeer in, like, really sexual, dirty positions.
But how do you do that? Think of that.
I guess you mount one on top of the other.
Yeah, I guess that's the only one you can really go for.
Put the red nose in Santa's crotch. Perhaps you turn one reindeer over, and maybe you have another reindeer on top of him facing, like, running in the other direction, so it looks like they're both running over each other in the exact opposite. I think there's a lot you can do with it, actually. The potential is endless.
Certainly.
It certainly is. Put the reindeers end to end, standing up. Looks like one is, the back of the other one, the back of the other one, and they're all getting to know each other. I mean, that's just off the top of my head. You could probably do a lot. Maybe Mrs. Claus is there. You make that dirty whore lay on her back. You have a reindeer running over her little stupid open-mouthed face.
I saw the headline to that story, and I'm just thinking a high school coach, and I'm thinking, that's fine.
Yeah.
A lot of us have had the cool, coach in high school, but middle school, that's a little rough.
This guy's driving 11-year-olds around trying to show them, what he'd like them to do, and then he put them all in reindeer costumes. What a creep.
How did he get caught? There's always one kid that you
Somebody
bring along that has to freaking tell someone.
A little rat. It's always a little rat.
Probably brag to his friends.
Yeah.
You think it just comes down to bragging and then it gets into the wrong hands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Braggart.
I guess you're right.
I would tell people if my coach drove me around and we did like all kinds of disgusting things with reindeer.
So guess what we did?
Yeah.
You go to your little friends, and then the friend gets jealous that they weren't along, and then they have to rat out their buddy.
Or they just tell the parents because say you drove, Miss McMartin. Old crotchety Miss McMartin.
Boy.
Maybe a bad name.
Yeah, maybe a bad name.
Let me get another name. Mrs. Smith. No. Mrs. Peterson.
Damn.
She has like
Yates.
Yeah, Mrs. Yates. Take 5 of those reindeer and you throw them in a little icy tub. All right, right back to the Andrea Rates.
Oh, well.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Hey, a little cleanup happening here. This is something we couldn't get to the other day. Tow truck driver attempts to tow police car. What was this guy thinking? And it wasn't an unmarked, by the way.
No, he was angry.
Yeah,
was he?
Yeah. Just an angry guy. I guess he was having some personal issues, and oops, he decided this would be a good idea.
Police say Steven Syverson is the man who tried to tow that patrol car this morning while they were responding to a domestic violence call. Now, after a fairly tense situation, they did take him to jail while several veteran cops just stood around in shock, wondering how it happened. At the Kempton Downs complex tonight, you can clearly see no parking signs on the pavement, but Officer Tom Pullman never thought they'd apply to him or his black and white, fully marked Gresham police car until his fellow officer alerted him on the radio.
Doesn't happen. It's a police car, but I'll be down there in a minute. And I finished what I was doing and went down, and there certainly was a tow truck backed up to the back of my patrol car.
How stupid can you be?
What a douche.
How dumb can you be?
What did the cop do? Just walk? Did he drag the guy out of the truck by his face? How great is it, by the way, to see your car getting towed and you have a gun?
Yeah. And a taser.
And a badge.
Well, let's see what happened.
He raped the tow truck driver.
Pullman says Steven Syverson already had the patrol car hooked up to his retriever towing truck.
I asked him, basically, what are you doing? And he told me that I was parked in a fire lane.
After some discussion and Syverson mentioning a ticket that Gresham police gave him recently, officials say he got in his truck, locked the doors, and would not come out.
That'll make him go away.
Police warned him that he was under arrest, but they say Syverson would not budge.
He called someone on his cell phone and called someone on his radio and said he was surrounded and he needed help.
I think he cracked. I think there's just too much pressure and he cracked, and that's the best we can figure out because there's no warning of this at all.
Of course he cracked.
He gets into the cab of his truck and locks the doors, thinking that they'll go away.
It goes,
and then starts radioing, "Hey, I'm surrounded. I need help." By what? Police.
Well, that's who surrounded you. So.
Call the police. Wait a minute, not the police.
Call the police from another town. I'm surrounded by police officers from this town.
That's a real cry for help. That's a cry for help. Like, you cannot attract the attention of the police more than by hooking up their car to a tow truck and refusing to get out of the cab.
Yeah.
Right. You can't get more attention than that.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's the fully marked cop car on the hook, and you're in the cab locked in there with the cops. You want to come out of there? You can't attract more attention.
You can't without hurting somebody.
Yeah.
So this is a guy who's obviously ready to snap. He's probably afraid he was going to do, and this is all psychological babble, but and he knows he needs some attention, so he hooks up the police car and he sits there and calls for help.
Yeah, he had gotten a ticket previously. That's what the story said, and he was kind of peeved about that. So I guess he thought towing one of the cop cars would be a good idea.
Well, this is what happened to him.
Another one of those things that will go down as being one of the weirdest calls I've been on in police work.
And Syverson has been fired from his job, and he is now facing several criminal charges, including interfering with a police officer.
There you go.
You can't interfere with them.
So fired.
Of course he's going to get fired. You don't get a raise for that. All right, well, you embarrassed the company and you had the police come out for no reason because you wouldn't get out of the cab because you had a cop car you were actually stealing. All right, fine.
Yeah, just got to communicate from Than. Going back to the crying thing.
Yes.
I cried at Howe Caverns. Than cried at Haunted Mansion.
I cried on the Cyclone.
I cried at everything.
Anthony cried from ages 2 to 17. Right?
Just in tears.
Just pick one. And
like Timothy Hutton and Ordinary People.
It was just a
and E-Rock beats everyone once again because he cried at a Shana Na concert.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until now, because now we're finding out that Danny cried at a Metallica show 2 years ago.
Why?
That would
2 years ago.
How old was he 2 years ago?
Why?
He was 25.
What happened? What scared him?
I said you had too much, son.
Yeah.
Did you really,
last call?
You really cried at a Metallica show?
It wasn't like bawling or anything, but I got a little misty.
Why?
Because they played, for their encore, they just played like a 3-song set that they never ever play live. They never have played.
I'm absolutely crying over
Yeah,
it.
it was kind of like that a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't crazy. It's not like I was breathing all heavy and snotting, but.
What 3 songs?
Bubbles, blowing snot bubbles
Yeah, it
out your
wasn't like
nose.
that.
Were they obscure B-sides?
No, like Metal Militia, Dyer's Eve. They just don't. They usually don't play that stuff live.
You cried at Metal Militia, you psychopath. I can't, Danny. I could see almost if it was Unforgiven, or if it was Nothing Else Matters, which is kind of an emotional song from Hetfield.
I can have some tears.
Yes, you can. All of you can. Yeah, but at the end of the night, I went 2 days in a row to
Hold
that.
on, I'm getting choked up here.
I was. Seeing this live?
How drunk were you?
No, I don't drink at concerts.
Why?
I don't feel like dealing
That's the
with,
place you
with,
should be
with
drinking.
lions
That's
in the bathroom.
It's the
and
only time he doesn't.
missing my favorite songs because I have to urinate. It's just not a good time.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
Crying. I don't even know what to say to that. Crying at a Metallica show.
It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't like a big, a big production where I had to like wipe my face off with my shirt or anything. It was just, I got a little watery. I think a couple of tears might have rolled down the old.
All right, I'll share a little bit. When I was working in Rochester, I went to Darien Lake to see Leonard Skinner, the reformed Leonard Skinner. And they've been back doing their thing for many years, but they lost a lead singer along the way in a fine, fiery plane crash. And then they decided to get back together. I don't know how many years. Maybe we can look it up. And they use the younger Van Zandt brother, and they sound just like freaking Leonard Skinner. Yeah, unbelievable. They're in rare form, like they never went away because he sounds a lot like his brother, right? And then it came time for Freebird. And the guy comes out, and you just knew there was something about to happen. And basically, he takes a hat that his brother used to wear, puts it on the mic stand, and then next thing you know, there's one spotlight on the mic stand, and the band plays that just without vocals.
Was the rim burnt off?
You should have tipped the mic stand on its side.
And there wasn't a dry eye in the house as they played the instrumental version of Stairway to Heaven, Freebird, and the whole crowd at Darien Lake was singing along to this.
Was it 11 minutes without anybody singing?
Oh, yeah.
The song just ended 5 minutes ago.
It was an amazing, it was one of those amazing concert moments, though. They nailed it, and I think to this day that's how they handle Freebird in concert, if I'm not mistaken, unless in recent years they've decided, all right, enough of this.
Yeah, the hat, it's not even his. We bought it somewhere.
Right. Enough of this crap trying to get tears from our audience. Let's just play the damn song. They want to hear
it.
Sweetie?
Teary at a concert.
Oh, no.
But
Gwen Stefani?
No, but mine's completely justified because I was not alone. I think every single person in there was a little teary.
Can we guess what year? What year? Can you tell us the year?
It was 2001.
All right, wait a minute. 2001.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first letter of the band?
You.
The Uptown Boys.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. Yeah.
Thank you for
U2 was doing a tribute to everybody that died in 9/11.
They showed
the 9/11 attack, so they had all the names scrolling behind them on these giant screens. And I think, what song were they doing?
I believe it was One.
One. Oh, man, that was tough. Standing there trying to man up, and you're just like, oh, Jesus, I'm not going to be able to take this. Holy shit. And then you turn your eyes to the side, and you just see, like, grown men. Like, oh, this isn't going to happen.
You know what, though?
Jeez.
F you two for doing that to us.
I know. I felt like that. Like,
I say
screw
F
these
you too,
guys.
and I love you too, but it's like, look, we don't need for you to pull more emotion out of us. We're all feeling what happened.
We were pretty beat up at the time. It was
here
in New York City. It's not like they were doing a concert in L.A. or something.
It was a nice tribute. Don't get me wrong, but stop.
I don't even count that.
It didn't need to get everyone crying like that.
The sheer number of names that were going up behind him. They had 3 giant columns that went from the stage to the rafters.
Well, it started out slow. It was like some kind of thing that kind of came up from the floor.
Yeah.
And then it started slow, and by the time it hit the rafters, and the names just kept going and going and going.
And you're like, oh my God, these names are going to go the whole goddamn song. And they just kept going and going and going. And you're like, oh, this just sucks. You bastard, you got me.
I don't count that, though. That's like a real...
Oh, this was awful.
Excuse me. It is crying at a concert, but that's not like what this blubbering disaster is like.
Metallica, because they played a few B-sides. What the F is wrong with you?
They never play that stuff.
Yeah, but did they, dedicate it to...
No, it just gave me that feeling that, that's what bands start to do when they're not going to be around for much longer. That was the feeling that I had gotten, and I'm like, wow, this whole thing is going to be over soon.
Well, aside from completely displaced emotions, Danny, you've probably been to relatives' funerals and didn't cry. Probably
never. I don't think I've ever cried at a funeral.
I will say I've certainly wept like that type of thing at Sabbath concerts and just loving. Of course I have. I mean, I think every guy has done that if you like the band enough. I don't think that's
Why
bad.
would you wept at a Sabbath show?
Who wouldn't?
For what reason?
Because they were back together. They're back together. Of course, I was so happy. It was joy. It was just beauty and joy.
All right.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, the U2 thing is that's legit.
Oh yeah,
if you're not
crying,
you have to be something wrong with you not to cry at that.
You ever go to now this sounds really fruity, believe me. You're at a Broadway show. That's pretty fruity.
And you cry because another one of the actors is dead?
Yeah. It's not crying. It's like you get that lump in your throat and kind of you feel it like backing up behind your eyeballs during the final note of one of those giant vocal numbers where there's harmonies going on and the whole cast is singing and it's just ringing. Just ringing harmonies from a lot of people. And it has that dynamic where it might start slow and really build. And then, boom, it stops like that. That gives me goosebumps and, brings out this, emotion.
What did it? What song?
I think it was something from Disney's Beauty and the Beast. No, kidding, of course.
Wow.
I'm
What was it
teasing,
from?
of course. I'm trying to remember what show it was. Oh, I think Les Mis. Les Mis.
I don't know.
It's just so huge.
Somewhere?
This big, and it's the whole sound of alive, and you realize it's coming out of human beings. Their friggin' mouths are making this,
Didn't you tell
great
me
harmony.
that you cried at a Screwdriver concert?
Yes, Screwdriver and any band handled by Panzerfaust. I usually shed a little tear.
Let's go to South Carolina.
Music is known, by the way.
Yeah.
Music yanks out emotion. That's why death row inmates, when they're walking to their death, they don't play music because it puts you in a weird place. So they won't let them listen.
Not going to remember it that long anyway.
Well,
They're strapped on the gurney.
They should play Coldplay's greatest hits for those guys as they're walking
Somebody that they
to their
hate.
death. Right.
Queen, another one bites the dust.
Somebody that they absolutely hate, so they'll be grateful for the needle.
Please pump the poison in already.
Holy crap! Now I'm hearing that you two used the same gag. Randy, New Orleans. What's up?
No way.
Come on, Randy.
After the Hurricane Katrina, the Saints played the first season mostly away games and over at LSU, and then the first home game back in the Superdome was a Monday night game against Atlanta. And U2 was an opening performance for it, and they came out and the place was silent. They showed nothing but videos of the storm and what happened after the storm.
and then U2 came out and did the Saints Are Coming song up to a big crescendo, and everybody in the place was boo-hooing.
Oh, I think you said they did names. I figured all the dogs that Michael Vick drowned.
Look,
playing in Atlanta.
I don't go to concerts for the death montage. I don't go to concerts to see a montage of how the entire world sucks and we need to help the world. I just want to hear a couple greatest hits. Get a T-shirt and get the F out of there. Enough of the dumb montages of starving African kids and Hurricane Katrina victims all tied into one neat package.
I'll say I don't like U2's music that much. I know I'm in the minority, but I do like Bono. The guy's a real humanitarian.
Oh yeah, you can't knock him for what he's doing, but I'm just not a fan of those montages. I'm like, all right, I get it. The world sucks, and we're greedy Americans, and we need to help everybody. I get it.
Hey Dan, you a big Metallica fan?
Yeah, big time.
Are you jealous that when they did SNL, Jim Brewer brought me, so I got to watch them warm up and play Memory Remains?
You mean S&M? I don't recall the SNL album. Oh, SNL, Saturday Night Live. Oh, I'm a douche.
Damn it! Damn it! Oh my God! Wow, somebody was a little chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I got faced.
Hold on.
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Oh, don't abbreviate for him. Do you remember when they did that program on NBC called Saturday Night Live, 11:30? It airs live, sometimes with a 5-second delay, so technically not live. And they did Fuel, the song, not the actual liquid, and The Memory Remains. And I get to stand probably the length of the studio and watch them rehearse and do the songs over and over. And I guess about 25 feet away, I get to stand there and watch the boys play.
That is definitely something I would be extremely jealous of.
Yeah. All right,
they'd have to take after take because they'd just hear in the background.
I went to an autograph signing once at some place in Times Square, and I had to wake up 2 days in a row to get there at like 5 a.m. to wait online just to meet them. And in my head, as I'm online, it was hours long line, I'm like, all right, what am I going to say to James? What am I going to say to Kirk? I'm like working it all out in my head. And finally, when I go down the autograph line, I just froze up. I had nothing to say. And the line had even backed up, and like Lars was trying to initiate a conversation. He's like, hey, so what's up, man? And I'm just like, nothing.
Oh, no. You blew it. You're shot.
It's the only time I ever met them.
They inducted Sabbath into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so of course I was there. And when Metallica came out to the press conference after they played for Sabbath, I got to question them. It was. I mean, I wasn't supposed to because I wasn't technically a reporter. Thanks to Black Earl, I got it. And the real reporters are behind me, and I'm like, hey, what made you pick the?
There are no real reporters, Jimmy.
You're right. I was legitimate as any.
You were just as qualified as they were. Let's say hi to Matt in South Carolina. Or no, we're gonna go with Joe in Jersey. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, dude? I was at a Coldplay concert a couple months ago, or I don't know, a year ago, who knows? And it was in Camden, the Tweeter Center. We're all on the lawn, all high and shit, or whatever. Oh, I cursed. I'm sorry. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
And they played that song "Fix You," and like I used to hate Coldplay, and I got dragged to the concert for my girlfriend because she's a big hippie. So we're there, doing the thing on the lawn, and they start playing this song "Fix You." Never heard it before, and I just start crying, dude, because everybody around me is crying. I guess it has some meaning to everybody around there, but it had no meaning to me.
Why would you cry during that song? What got you?
I don't. Just like, I mean, they get to one point, like the vocals come in, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
And then the guitarist starts to strum, and people are just starting to scream. Like Anthony said, the chills are going up your spine, right down to your butthole. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and I started crying.
I don't mind Coldplay actually, but they're starting to sound. Every song is starting to sound the same. There, they gotta come up with a new sound. I'm thinking Coldplay.
By the way,
dude,
sorry.
It's like the whole strumming of the guitar thing, and it's just that's it. I lost it.
Yeah, they're a very emotional band. They do some things with their guitars. That band Coldplay. All right, Joe. Thank you, sir.
Can I apologize to Ron Bennington real quick?
Yeah.
Thank you, Iraq, for putting me up. Someone tell Ron that I'm apologizing for the last 2 years. I've been giving stupid Earl credit for getting me in to see Sabbath. Earl did take the picture. The pass he got me, though, was Ron Bennington's pass.
Oh, right.
And I believe Ron gave up that pass so I could go. I'm assuming he did that. He may not have.
Of course he did.
He's
you, Ron,
a martyr.
Of course,
my apologies.
Great man. He's like Jesus.
He certainly is.
Let's go to Chris in Boston.
Jim, you're in front of Sabbath. Hello.
Yeah. Chris, what's up?
Thanks, Ronnie.
Hey, man, I was at a Tool show, and I was tripping on like 6 hits of acid, and they played, I think it was Schism. Oh, man, it just brought me to a weird place.
Schism.
It brought you to a weird place? That was the drugs talking, though, man.
Because I was tripped out on acid. Good stuff, seeing everything melt, and Oh, it's good times.
Tool is amazing to watch live. I missed them the last time around, and I'm bummed.
Yeah, I think I took those tickets off your hands.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What, it was a school night or something, probably?
I just don't remember. It was first row tickets at a tiny little venue.
It's
some
just-
opera house or something. It was
God,
it was
I
really
love
amazing
watching
show.
Tool. They're amazing.
Can I say what a nerd I am? I went to a concert in '84. I think one of my first times seeing Ozzy was Ozzy and Motley Crue on the Shout at the Devil tour. And after the concert, I was with my friends Elias and Tony Hermosilla, the two guys like rock freaks from North Brunswick. And I was upstairs and I thought I saw Motley Crue walking around. So I made them. I'm like, come on, guys, I see Motley Crue. We ran over. It was just four guys with blonde hair, and they're like, you're so lame.
Just walking around
I
like
didn't know any better.
in the rotunda.
Yeah, I thought I saw Motley Crue.
All right, two more,
Such a
and
nerd.
we got to take a break.
No.
Carl in Westchester, what's up?
Hey boys, I got one that it's impossible. It was impossible not to cry at. Went and saw Billy Joel when he was doing those like 11 nights at the
11 Nights at the Garden. Yep.
Night Saigon had like veterans from World War II up till now up there singing the "We Would All Go Down Together."
Wow, your phone kind of broke up, but I'm sort of with you. He brought the veterans out on the stage.
Yeah, that part with we would all go down together.
Yeah.
Just War II up till the current Gulf War, like holding hands and singing it, and it was just ridiculous.
Why wasn't Billy Joel in the nom?
Just old soldiers on stage singing that part of the song, huh?
Yeah, it was the kind of thing where you couldn't help it.
Of course.
Or if you didn't cry.
Right on, man. Thanks, Carl. All right, and finally, Matt in South Carolina. Matt, what's up?
Hey, fellas, this isn't quite as manly as crying at a concert, but the old Charlie Brown special, Snoopy Come Home, all my eyes out.
Oh, man, that's pretty bad.
I'm loving this
All
bit.
right.
We got to continue after the break.
That's
It's just
pretty bad.
You can hear it's a man's man on the phone. All right, well, the Snoopy special, Snoopy Come Home, it got me.
Charlie Brown was very upset. Snoopy had run off, and he really wanted him home.
You had it.
Pal.
But, Matt, how old were you? How old?
5 or 8.
Oh, when Charlie Brown was going, Snoopy, Snoopy. Oh, I felt so bad.
You got to think by the end of the episode, though, Snoopy has to come home or the peanuts are done.
No, he's dead. They found him on the side of the road with maggots crawling in and out of his eyes, and the bottom part of him that was laying on the street was completely flat.
That's right. They found him in Michael Vick's place, buried. His little Snoopy snout cape shut so they could drown him.
All right, Matt, thank you.
Hey, happy birthday, little Jimmy.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, yeah, we almost forgot. Very good.
Godspeed.
Hey, with that, for your birthday, why don't you give away tickets to your New Year's Eve show?
I
Jimmy?
gave them away earlier.
Oh, that was the only pair you got?
Tomorrow.
You
I'll do one.
cheapskate?
No. I'm going to do a whole thing tomorrow. Borgata's almost sold out last show. by the way.
Skinflint.
No, no. Your lips to God's ears. I screwed that one up. Thank you.
Get a few more tickets for the fans.
All right, we'll do this. If you call in right now.
Oh, boy. Something's going on.
We'll give away, it's a special thing I'm doing.
Uh-oh.
We'll get a pair of tickets.
Uh-huh.
You'll also get a VIP pass, which means you come back, I possibly say hello to you, and you get VIP parking. The first two callers get that.
Ooh.
Third caller, you get nothing but a slap to your face. The first two callers, and the what's the code word?
Cheesecake.
No. Here's the code word.
Delicious.
The first two callers who call up and go, Metal Militia.
And in honor of that, we go to break with this for Danny.
time. Hey, man, it's Lars from Metallica, and you're listening to Opie and Anthony.
Yep. Getting ready for What Did We Learn on the Opie and Anthony show today? More people calling in about crying. It's Bill in Jersey. Bill, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, Bill.
I don't have a song, but I have a movie. I actually cried at the end of Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings?
You're kidding, right?
Yeah.
The John Candy movie?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You know, they were Jamaican, they were bobsledders. They tried so hard.
Not.
I'll tell you what John Candy movie made me cry, though. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, yeah.
That made me cry. When Del Griffith is standing there and Steve Martin's hugging his wife and John Candy's just looking, and his little fat hands are holding his hat.
Yeah.
And he's just kneading his little lonely I have no more wife hat.
Yeah.
It was sad, man.
And then she invites him in, like, come on in. Be part of our family for one night, and then we're going to send you on your way to be lonely for the rest
That's
of
right, you
yours.
shower curtain selling curly-haired pig. Out the door you go, Thanksgiving day after.
I love how these movies have to wrap it up nice for you at the end, but then if you're like a human being, you leave the theater and you think about it. Like, are they going to really welcome John Candy into their home, or is this a one-shot deal?
Because he's annoying.
Right.
He'll annoy them.
Right. So they give him a nice warm meal in a warm house during a snowy night, and that's it.
Get your fat ass out the door.
Beat it, stupid.
When they go over the whole movie, and you realize that, like, oh yeah, he hasn't been talking to her. I was like, wow.
Yeah, when you realize she's dead, you're
Yeah.
like, oh man, that's
You're kidding.
that sucks. Let's go to John in Jersey. John.
Good morning, boys.
Hey.
Hello, John.
I don't know if you guys ever saw it on HBO. It was 9 innings to ground zero.
No.
About baseball returning to.
Oh yeah, that was great.
11. So I'm watching. I was a paramedic down there. I got so I didn't get to see any baseball games for a few weeks afterwards. So I never saw the Mike Piazza home run and all that stuff. I watched that stupid show. Saw Piazza hit that home run. This was probably about 4 years after that show was on. I bawled like a schoolgirl for about 2 hours. I have no idea watching stupid Mike Piazza cry like that.
I don't like how you made it. I don't like how you made 9/11 about yourself.
Yeah,
that's right. It's all
You were
about
a little mad that you couldn't see a little baseball for a couple of weeks.
I'm sorry. Also, two movies I cried at: Miracle and Rudy.
Rudy.
The Giuliani story? When he finally realized he has a cleft lip?
And kids that hate him?
All right, boys, take care.
Rudy.
Prostate like a pineapple.
Rudy had no business being on that football team. Let's go to Kim in Boston listening on BCN. Kim, what's up? Kim?
This one is, hey, how are you?
Good.
Hi.
That movie Castaway, remember?
Yeah.
No.
By the way, if you cried when when Wilson floated away, I'll bite your fingers off.
I actually didn't, but my son, who's 11,
All right.
had his first cry during a movie, whenever that came out. I don't remember.
Aw, poor queer.
But when he lost Wilson, bawled his eyes out. Bawled his eyes out. It was.
Aw.
I felt like a horrible mother.
Well, you don't. Does the little Mary play soccer?
That's the thing, is he's this, like, rough and tough kid.
Yeah,
Sure he is.
Sure he is.
By the way, Kim, sorry to hear about your son. I hear he's in the news today.
What's that?
Man reportedly beats 7-year-old boy for wearing pink nail polish.
Ah.
Is that your boy?
Is that your boy?
Like the pink nail polish.
It could be. I don't know. I think he's at school, but I'm not.
Come on, Kim. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, it was a sad movie. The little Nancy got all choked up. It happens.
The little Nancy. But that was all he had, Jimmy. It's all he had.
How old is the pansy now?
He's 11 now.
Well, I'm sure little girly boy is doing fine.
Yeah.
Well, he's hanging out with that guy who cried watching Rudy.
Yeah. All right.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Throw your own kid under the bus. What a wonderful woman.
Let's go to Stryker from Whackback. Stryker.
Morning, boys.
Hey. Hey.
And Jimmy will appreciate this. I cried at a Springsteen concert because of a girl.
I would cry at a Springsteen concert.
Why? Because of a girl.
In '85, when he was on his Born in the USA tour, he played 2 nights here in Denver. One night, I won tickets to 4th row, center stage.
Wow.
The second night, a friend of mine gave me 2 tickets, 20th row, center stage. There was this girl at high school that I was friends with. I'd always wanted to date her. She kept saying no, but she was a massive Springsteen fan. When she found out I had these tickets, she begged me to take her. So the second night halfway through the concert, I realized that the only reason she was there with me was because of Springsteen.
Now you're stuck at a Springsteen show.
And then come the next morning, she would think I was a total and complete ass again.
Well, what made? How did you not know that from the beginning?
You know what though? You got to take a shot at that whole thing. You got to think that maybe I could turn this whole thing around with a Springsteen
turn
song.
this around,
right?
I was 17 at the time. What was I supposed to do?
Whatever happened to this pig?
Well, that's just it. She became a pig. She went from a cheerleader to a fat mess.
Good. That's what she gets for not servicing you properly in the parking lot after the show.
Absolutely.
I didn't even get a peck on the cheek after either show from her.
No.
Why didn't you do it? What didn't you notice it after the first one? You should have put the kibosh on the second one and taken someone else.
Well, you know.
Ugh, really?
It
Dreamer.
was one of those things. I was 17 at the time. I was horny. I thought I'd get more, and I got nothing.
Well, you're not alone. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have done exactly what you're talking about.
Well, what you should have done is you should have like every time you sang a song, thrown your arms up in like the Victorious V, and then like let your forearm smash your face by accident, just to protest.
Yeah. Bring in Steve and Roland. We got to find out what made them cry. Thank you, Stryker. Let's go to Mike on Long Island. Mike, what's up?
Mike.
Hey.
Hey.
I cried when in Jackass they were servicing the horse.
Okay, terrific. Let's say hi to Brian in Jersey. Brian, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
I cried when they changed the size of my Jimmy Dean sausage packing. Linger longer.
Sausage.
Hey, Roland, what makes you cry?
For what?
Like we're talking about when we cried.
Like movies or songs.
Broadway shows.
Yeah.
Concerts, probably get teary-eyed when Bruce Springsteen plays a Rare song.
What's up
In
with the
concert?
Rare song?
The Rare
crap?
song.
What song makes you cry from Springsteen?
Born in the USA, right?
I'd cry too. I'd be like,
that's not
hey,
Rare
play
song.
the hits, you dummy. I spent a ton of money on your tickets.
Incident on 57th Street, Frankie, Cynthia.
Shouldn't you cry because you
The
realize how much
stupid
money
name
you
songs.
spent on the Bruce Springsteen ticket, and then you realize halfway through the show that we were right, and he's one of the most overrated musicians of all time?
I'm happy to spend any amount on Bruce, and I smile because he's worth it, though.
You drank the juice, the Bruce juice.
It's in me.
We're gonna give you a double shot of Bruce juice.
I hope so.
On the home of rock and roll.
All right.
Dude, you drank the Kool-Aid, man.
He's worth the money.
You're in the Bruce cult. He's
Yeah.
not that great.
Yeah, but all 3 nights already. I got my tickets set.
So when this plays, you'll start tearing up.
Hear it.
This is what makes you cry. What is this song about even?
It's Cynthia. It's a Rare song he played off his box set.
Sounds like every other Bruce song.
You know why it's a rare song, right? Because he even realized how much it sucked.
It's a bunch of crap.
No, it's
if he had pride in the song, he would have played it a long time
Yeah.
ago, and he would play it a lot.
You think he lets Born in the USA just sit there? Doesn't play it?
He doesn't play all the time, though.
What is he, crazy?
Why?
That's what people want to see.
He plays like once every other tour.
Why?
Oh,
and,
stop.
And then you can talk with all the other Bruce fans like, I was at the show
the
that
good part-
played Born to Run.
The good part is he
man.
opens up his rehearsals, so you pay $100 a ticket to see him rehearse.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's
What?
wonderful. What a
Yeah.
nice guy.
Saw 5 rehearsal
That's
shows.
a blue-collar guy if I ever heard of
Wait,
one.
the rehearsals and the
Yeah,
concert.
well, it's like he'll rehearse in Jersey, and he'll open it up for $100 a ticket, and you see them rehearse for like.
How about opening it up for like underprivileged people that
Right.
can't really
Or
afford to see Bruce?
Or people that couldn't get their tickets because it sold out so fast.
Yeah.
But
What a pompous ass. Where does that money go?
to the Bruce Foundation for Bruce.
I don't mind that. I like that, actually.
No, that's awful.
I think it's awesome.
Awful. $100 a seat to see him start and stop songs over and over.
I need to buy new blue
there's no
jeans.
seats, though. It's
And then
like-
he throws your bone and he plays a couple songs in their entirety because he knows he got your money.
Yeah, I traveled to Jersey.
Yeah,
to go
great.
see him. It's awesome.
That's great.
Sound check. You pay $100 to your.
No, it's a full.
All right, the kick.
That's our lucky part if we can see that. But
You get to see that?
Yeah, and-
All right, run across the whole thing. For hours.
But then they play a whole like 2.5 hours of like rehearsal switching
Wait,
songs.
and then they do the show that night?
Oh no, then they'll do like 5 rehearsal shows throughout the like 2 weeks, and then the week
rip-off.
later they do the full show. So you see like different sets, mixing it up.
I don't mind that. If Sabbath did that with different songs and stuff, I would absolutely go see
For
that.
$100, you'd see Sabbath taking dumps.
I have.
It's like only like in a 1,500 seat arena.
That's
though.
taking advantage, man.
No.
They get enough money.
Yeah.
First of all, these concerts are overpriced to begin with. It's ridiculous what has become of seeing your band. Let's go to Alex in Philly. Alex.
Little Alex.
Officer, call me.
What would you have a problem with there, Alex?
That movie I cried at the end was Field of Dreams, when he has a cat with his dad.
Yep. Me too.
Well, maybe that'll get you.
That's a biggie.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
Yeah.
All right, boys, check it out.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, I don't know what
Thought he might have had more. Don't elaborate on it.
We all expected something out of the other party, and none of us delivered.
No one delivered.
None of us did. He didn't.
Steve. Yeah. What makes you cry?
When you realize the Bible frowned upon certain activities.
I'm done.
I'm done.
Was it 5 seconds before I was queer?
It's a new record.
Yeah, exactly.
No, longest time ever.
Yeah.
Right. The longest time that you tricked us. Yeah.
And I think I can remember at least one Broadway show. I saw Wicked, and I welled up during one of the songs, and but towards the end, I think.
Yeah, this is the manly part.
Yeah.
The manly
This is the part that construction workers like.
And then I think Rascal Flatts has a couple songs that, Ooh, we're still on Wicked.
This stuff makes you cry.
No, only when I saw it. Oh, for the same reason that Anthony mentioned, because you're in.
You're in the moment.
You're in the moment. You have this huge theatrical experience. Everyone around you is watching this. This very moving performance. There's lights and everybody around you is welling up too. That doesn't help.
You know what it gets me about Broadway shows is that stupid dynamic thing they do where there's a stage full of people for the big finale thing, and it goes from very quiet to this huge build, and at the end it's just, they're all oh, excuse me. They're all, what is it? It's curse day today. They're all just, harmonizing. And it sounds great, and it kind of just, it's a little tuning fork in your head.
I think that's it.
Or you're just,
Or you're flamingly homosexual and things like this. There's just this medley of voices. That one did it.
In context, maybe, of the show.
Yeah, in the context of a show where you're watching.
That's the big.
There you go.
That big. See, you get those big endings like that.
The whole place goes up.
Whoa, bravo!
And then you rush to the garage to get your car before everyone else
and then
gets
some
there.
skinny guy comes out and asks for money to help his friends.
Instead of curtain, just a giant robe and tribute. Had to get that one in, didn't we?
Of course.
All right, we're out of here.
Well, that's the end of the Opie and Anthony program today.
Bam.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bam. That.
Opie and Anthony.